All right, there we go. Whew. Now to remind myself how the heck to link this. There we go. It's been a hot minute since I had to do this. That's okay. So excuse me while I real quick prepare everything, and then we will get right to it. Okay. Because we gotta let Twitter know. Okay. All right. Let's throw it onto my Bendy Tumblr because I have one of those. Wait, shoot. Yeah, I need to utilize the power of regular Tumblr. It has been a minute. Dear Lord, keep hitting my books. Ah. Okay. Hello! Oh my gosh, Rainfall, Bernie, Beth, good to see you guys. Hello! Oh my goodness, I need to find a good way to have the chat up. So I think I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, that'll work. Just so that I can see what everybody's saying. That would be great. Ah. Oh man. And I remembered to put it on live chat this time, so it's not just showing the top comments, whatever the heck that means. Yeah, okay. Now, I'm gonna switch to my phone real quick so you don't see everybody's... Of course. I will get to that later. I just want to make sure that I share this with everyone because, oh boy. Copy text. Okay, where was I sharing this? Because there are a bunch of communities that I think would appreciate this stream because we are going to be talking about some really cool stuff in regards to the next Bendy game. So, yeah. Wow, I don't even know where to start tonight. Hello, Fiddle! Oh my goodness, good to see you. Okay. Like, who the heck is Wilson? Yeah, that's a question we're all asking. Oh my god. Combat, hello! Oh my goodness. Okay, I will be with you guys shortly. I just gotta make sure. Okay. Oh, goodness. Bernie, if you want to start us off with talking about Wilson, by all means, type it up. This is a stream for everybody to contribute their theories in any way, shape, or form. I am going to ask that all of you take a moment to read the stream description, because I have some general guidelines for what is appropriate for this stream. Because it is very important that we keep this a civil and thoughtful and enjoyable community for everyone. So thank you all. I appreciate that in advance. Okay. Where was I in the list of servers I had to send this to? Because this is awful, right? I am a part of so many different project servers and fan servers that I lose track of them all. Okay. Also, you're not alone. That is one of my many theories. One of my theories is definitely about Wilson being related to Wally in some way. It's not the most plausible one out of the ones I have to share with you tonight because, gosh, I have so many thoughts. So many thoughts. Okay, I am going to refrain from putting that there because someone just posted. That's okay, though. Because, like, when you post, like, 5 minutes after somebody else just shared something, it just feels kind of rude. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, that's how I feel about it. All right. Oh, Fiddle. Thank you for sharing that on my behalf. Okay. And that should be everywhere. Okay. So we're going to give people a little bit to come in. We're going to give people a little bit to read the rules in the description. Because not only do I list the community guidelines in my description, I also list, what to expect with these streams. Because I feel it's important to be prepared. Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work, Fiddle. Also, let me know how my volume is, just to make sure that I am audible and everything is good. I shouldn't have any audio to play on this stream, hopefully, so it's really just my mic that we have to worry about, and if I could be louder, I will adjust my settings as needed. Just, let me know. Neil! Hello, Neil! Okay. So we are actually going to put our folder up right here, because, shout out to the amazing Shazba, also known as Ink Demon Apologist, for my background here. It's a very interesting personal crossover with some not Dungeons and Dragons, but tabletop games, and I love it so much. And it's just, I love it especially because Stop Boo Writer's version of Joey can hold whatever file I need, and today that file is the theory materials for this stream, so I can show you guys what we're going to be talking about, because that, I believe, is very important. And that is not the right window. I apologize. There's a reason I only stream, like, once or twice a year. Oh, we should probably turn details off. You know what? I'm not going to do it. Yeah, Call of Cthulhu Joey is a classy dude. I love him a lot, actually. Okay. There we go. So let me scroll back up in the chat real quick so we can see what y'all are talking about. Okay. Wilson is clearly a man in charge of the studio now, and he's taking control of everything within. He gives off the vibe of a dictator and seems to have taken out the Ink Demon, aka Ink Bendy. I don't know how true that is. Wilson's sus. Like, we're talking about Among Us being sus? Nah, Wilson is sus. How does a guy rise up to power like that? Where is he from? Okay, thank you guys on the volume check. My gosh. I love you. Hey, Mochi, hello! Listen, we love classy dudes who are a disaster in this house. They are fantastic. Oh my god. Let me see. Oh, jeez. I gotta stop bumping everything. It is you. Neil Allen Spooks here for the street. Yes, like, nya. We are all worried for COC Joey's health. Oh my god. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, no. There is so much to question with all of this. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm actually going to take my earbuds out. I don't know why I have them in, because I'm not listening to anything, so yeah. Wait. My voice isn't doubling, isn't it? Okay, good. It shouldn't be. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Honestly, on a Psydenim? Psydemon? I'm not familiar with that term, but that is an interesting idea. I like that. Okay, so we're here tonight because Bendy and the Dark Revival is coming out soon. And oh my gosh, there is so much to talk about. We have a trailer that changed all of our lives. We have a bunch of pieces that are... pseudonym. Pseudonym. Okay, I got you. I know what you're talking about. Thank you, Beth. Yeah, also I'm gonna lotion up real quick. Yeah. See, the chat's right there with you. We know what you meant now. We're good. But yeah, there is so much for us to look at in terms of where this game is going. The unclear pieces from previous games, and the bits of stage building that were built leading up to this one. Oh shoot, that's the other thing I forgot to add to my tabs, the Joey Drew Studios YouTube page. Because we're going to be looking at the Joey Drew Studios archives at some point, I think. I'm prepared to. So, gosh, where do we start, guys? Where do we start? Do we want to start with older content? We want to start with the newest content? We want to look at Twitter? We want to look at game files? I mean, we got a lot that we could talk about today. Man, I don't know where to start because there's so many good places to start. Also, I have a stack of books right here with me, all of the Bendy books, because oh boy, are we gonna need them. Oh, hello, Tommy Turtle. Welcome. I haven't seen your name on my streams before, so thank you for joining. Do me a favor, real quick, just read the description. We have some community guidelines that you might want to know about. Hey, Steve. It's Victor. Hello, Victor. It's good to see you. Oh my goodness. It took me a minute to figure out which Victor you are. I know a couple at this point, but I think I know which one you are. Let's see. Joey's death date is August 31st, 1963. That is entirely possible. We could start with Joey's death. I think that qualifies as older content leading up into the new. And hello, Steve. It is so good to see you. We're just getting warmed up, telling everybody to read the description, just in case. God, combat was born so Joey can die. That's horrible. Let's not do that. Yeah. That is totally fair. The joke theories are welcome in this chat. Please throw me all the ridiculous stuff in addition to the stuff. See, this is exactly it. Joey had to die so you could be here, combat. It all makes sense. It's reincarnation. No, it's not. Please don't do that. Hi, Bella. Good to see you. Okay, the spooky dude in the trailer that totally didn't toss Audrey in the ink machine, wink wonk. Oh my god. Beth, you're Joey? He's Joey. I'm Joey? Is there any other Joeys I should know about? Imagine if Bendy as a universe just turned into the equivalent of Kingdom Hearts, where you're either Sora or you're Xehanort. You're either Joey or you're Henry. Audrey's a Henry. My god. There can only be one. Oh my god. Combat, I am so sus. So sus. Okay. Henry and G. Oh, gee, I can't. I can't with you guys. You're great. Audrey, I don't know if Audrey is necessarily related to Henry. We could start with that too, because I have many thoughts on that subject. Like, man, man, Jorts, Jortsus the wolf. Just that's it. That's the tweet. Also, where did I put my chapstick? I am suddenly realizing that I need that. The answer is in my pencil case. Because that is the optimal place for chapstick. Thank you, Steve. I love to laugh. I appreciate that y'all make me laugh. Trudy shorts! No! You can't do this to me, Mochi. No. Yeah, no. I absolutely agree with the idea that Joey is probably in the ink. I don't think he's, like, dead, but the world probably thinks he's dead, so we're gonna say he's dead. No, so actually, I think you are already behaving. Shush, you're fine. So let me actually open up the Crack Up Comics here, because I'm gonna read a little bit of the end of the intro for you, because I think that's the best way. So, let me see. So, if you haven't had the pleasure of reading the Bendy Crack Up comics, the introduction sets a lot of the stage that I think we're going to be looking at for Bendy and the Dark Revival. And that is, this book seems to take place in 1972. 1972 seems to be a really important year. Just as 1963 is, just as, 414 is in this series, 1972... By this point, Nathan, at the very least, is telling us that Joey Drew is dead. Okay? That he has purchased Bendy from Joey's estate. Joey's gone. And now he and the people at Archgate are going to be... are going through the process of archiving everything that was under the Joey Drew license. So there's a lot of things that they probably inherited with that. I think we're all on the train of thought that in some way Archgate is trying to get a hold of the ink machine, because that just makes a lot of sense. But it is really interesting to me that they've taken so much time to go and archive all this stuff of Joey's, and I don't know if it's an elaborate cover-up or if Nathan, actually cares, because if you've read The Illusion of Living, the relationship between Joey and Nathan is a really interesting one. I don't even know, the thing that was, wow, I need to change my view because I forgot. So, obviously, I came prepared. I downloaded a bunch of stuff in preparation for this, but we see this lovely image, if it would load, please. Thank you. We see this image over on the website and in the background of several shots of the trailer. Joey Drew the man and the demon. If I could stop messing with my computer, please, that would be great. This, to me, looks like it's a title of a documentary. I could be completely wrong on this, and if I am, I'm totally okay with that. But doesn't this seem like a documentary to you? I don't know. Let me read up in the chat to make sure I haven't missed too much, because you guys are active, and I appreciate it. Joey and George versus Henry and Daisy Dukes. Wilson and this... No! Beth! You're trying to kill me. No. Clearly, it is Sammy in the booty shorts. I don't care what you say. I may discuss characters' butts as a part of theorizing tonight, just a heads up, because my friends seem to think I have a fascination with Norman's butt. It probably will come up. My gosh. Ink Demon Joey is still a completely plausible theory, and in this essay I will combat. I'm with you. I firmly believe that there is a connection between the demon and Joey. I'm just not 100% sure on what it is. Man. If you look at the Bendy cutout when the Ink Demon shadow shows, it looks like it was impaled along with the slashed poster. Could this support theory that Baby Benders and the Ink Demon are two separate beings? Honestly, I don't know what to think of that. There are so many thoughts that I have in regards to, is our new perfect Bendy related to the ink demon? Like, are they one and the same? Are they two? I don't know. My suspicion is that they both house a part of Joey, though. And I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. Nathan's Kid. I haven't heard Nathan's Kid as a take yet. That's interesting. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, bankruptcy. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Nathan wants to smooch Joey. No, Nathan, bad. You can't smooch Joey. He's in a committed, ruining other people's lives. Yeah. Yeah, they do have the museum. I'm gonna pull up the museum in a minute. He needs all the help he can get. Oh my god. Yes. Combat, you should draw Monster of the Week, Joey, in those, please. Yes. Fiddle, if I had permission, I would pull it up. Because, dear God, we love Sammy in the booty shorts with the heels. Good. Please don't stop making me laugh. YouTube, how dare you be rude to Mochi? Oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, Half's Abomination comic is absolutely amazing. I don't blame you there. Hello, Frankinator Gaming. Welcome. Please make sure to read the rules in the description in the community guidelines because we are theorizing and we want it to be a good, positive, safe space for that. Woo! Ray, hello! Yes. Yep. Mochi, yes, he does. Oh god, he does. Actually, let me pull up the museum real quick. So, I actually went and brightened this image. I do want to give credit where it's due. I meant to have a link to this to share, but unfortunately, Tumblr either hates me or the post was removed. So, shout out to Half a Sec. I apologize if I'm butchering that. I have no idea how to pronounce your username, Half, but you rock. Because he had a post a while back, where most of these images are from, which are rips of the images used on the Joey Drew website at the time being. But when I went to look back at it, I couldn't find it on his blog. It was like it disappeared. So I am going to, so I've downloaded everything before that happened, unfortunately. No, Steve, we like Tumblr here. But I did take this image and brighten it up a little bit. Once it loads, pretty please. We have our beautiful, wow. This is, no. Pain without love. So we have this, and I've brightened it up a little bit so we can see things better. Oh my god. I was so broken when I saw this image, because it's like, this right here. Nelly! I'm sorry, I'm very partial to the fandom joke that the banjo is named Nelly. I forget whose AU that's from, but I love it so much. That may be Ray of Sunshine? I'm pretty sure it's Ray of Sunshine. Yeah, no, the banner's in like 2 places here. I fully believe that they are promoting, that they're trying to promote this documentary in addition to all of this stuff that is, clearly about Bendy's legacy. Like, we have this image over here, which is featured in a lot of Bendy media. It's originally, we saw it on Joey's bulletin board in his apartment, which I do have images for in a bit. We've seen it at the beginning of Crack Up Comics, they reuse it. In the employee handbook, they use it. Just classic, someone with a projector, we think it's Norman, we don't know for sure. And then supposedly Joey presenting. A pose Boris, yes. Look at him. Behold him. He is so beloved. Race is called Gloria? Oh shoot, how'd I mess that up? Yeah, Sammy with the boots and the furs. Oh my god. What do we think of the new music so far? I'm really excited about it. Oh my gosh. The new music is so good. Oh man, I love it. I love the new music a lot. Like, it brings back old tracks, and it also has some new ones. And I'm just really excited about that. And that Lonely Angel at the end, or not Lonely Angel, the Alice Angel theme song at the end. It's so good. I can't wait to hear where we hear that in game. Ah, that's gonna be so good. I'm guessing the dollhouse, but we'll get to the dollhouse in a bit. Let's see. All right, take care, Steve. Be safe. There was an exhibit in Disney World that was basically an animation studio that did work, but people could watch animators work on stuff that is taking, the inspo. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It sounded so good. The Surtur theme cameo. Yeah, no, all of you are so true on that. My gosh. Beth, it's really funny that you mention the Disney World exhibit, because this actually has me thinking about that. This whole image right here. Yes, please. Can we please get a version of the soundtrack to download? I just want to listen to all of it. I specifically want to listen to Bertram's boss battle music all the time, and Brute Boris's. Chapter 4 peaked with the music, if I'm being real with you, and I miss it so much. Oh my god. Man. But no, it's I think about the Walt Disney Experience, where it had that documentary of Walt's life at the end, because I've been to Disney a few times, and that I don't know if that's still there, but I'm pretty sure it is. But I'm also thinking a little bit of Epcot. There was a documentary I watched many years ago, and I couldn't tell you the name of it if my life depended on it. But one of the things that it went over was, I don't remember if this was the plan for Epcot or if this was the plan for something else, but Walt really wanted to go and create a community where basically all of his workers for the animation could live in this place. They could live at work. And it's a really weird and messed up thing, and we're not even going to talk about the ramifications. But the fact that there are hints in this current trailer that that's what we're doing with Joey Drew Studios. I look at the animator's rest thing. I look at the world and having all of these amenities for the ink creatures. I'm like, did Nathan pull that? Did Joey pull that? Which one of you did that? Oh my god. If Modern Disney has done that, I don't know about it. I don't even want to think about that. No, thank you. Yeah. Oh my god. Thank you, Bernie. Yeah, there are just... I mean, it makes sense, Who brought the truck down here? What truck are we talking about? Oh my god. Okay, let's dial back the violence. Man. Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Most magical place on Earth, yes. Do I want to live there? No. No. Gosh, the truck from the trailer. There was a truck in the trailer? Yeah, the rest area made me think of my Boris enemy idea. Gotta stay quiet or a bunch of former good boys come after you. Oh, God. Yeah, that's... Ooh. Oh, yeah, right. That truck. Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Actually, I'm just gonna make my life a little easier. No, come over here. Ooh, that is chugging. Okay, let's just not use my internet. This is why I downloaded the trailer. Because I'm smart. I just want to scrub over to that for a second because I did not remember to grab screenshots of everything. If this can stop chugging, oh my gosh. So, I will warn you, you're not going to hear it because OBS currently has that muted. Okay, where are we looking? Oh, yeah. Bad Lewis. No, I don't believe that truck is Gasquet. Though we're gonna talk about Gasquet. Just you watch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, everybody's like, oh, this is about Buddy Luke. No, this is about a real baseball player. Or maybe it is. I don't know. The truck is for show. I have a whole theory about this area if we can get to it. Hi, Betty. Where the heck? I don't remember where anything is in this trailer. I apologize. Here we go. Here's the sequence. So, looking at this, yeah, there's your truck right there. Holy cow. So, this whole area gives me so many... Hi, Ollie! It's good to see you. Yeah. Well, listen, there was a Bud Lewis here in our own history. It could easily be a parody of that. I don't know for sure. Just, my goodness. My goodness. Okay. It's all good. I'm happy to see you either way. But, like... Oh, you want to knock the door that doesn't want to be knocked. Frankinator. Me too. Oh, man. So, like, yeah. Do you guys... Yeah. Like, there was a Bud Lewis. There was a golfer, there was a soccer player, and there was a baseball player who, coincidentally, lines up with the Bendy timeline pretty well, actually. If I could... Wow. Hello. I want Buddy to be in this game just because I want to see more of the book characters, but it's totally fine if you don't want that. Yeah, like, look at this. His career was literally right around the time that Bendy was happening. Yeah. No, I do think it is a little interesting that they would do that, but it's weird. It's like, this guy exists. Everybody looks at that baseball, and I keep going, guys, it might just be, I mean, that, like, the reason they would do that is not just for the mix-up with Buddy Lewick, but also, like, if Bud Lewis is a real person, one, it cements timeline stuff further, and two, by having a baseball where his name is spelled wrong, it's probably fake, which, like, it would be really cool. It would be really cool if, you know, we had a baseball that was signed by this guy, but it wasn't really signed by this guy, it was fake, and it belonged to Wally. Or it belonged to somebody else who, you know, didn't know how to spell his name, or something, this, that, or the other, or it was a gift, but it was fake, but it was like, person wouldn't know that. I feel like that's where that baseball is going. And I feel like it's Wally mostly because we know that he is a proud New Yorker, and if there's anything New York loves, it's baseball. But also his the Bendy Royale trailer, that, you know, that fake thing, had Wally portrayed as an audio log with a baseball cap. And we know that he has a cap in canon. He's told us that he tipped his cap. I mean, I am assuming he means a literal cap. It would be a little weird if it weren't literal, but that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no, absolutely. It is totally plausible that they're changing it so that relatives don't get upset about that, because that is absolutely a thing to worry about. As you can see, I always have this particular page of the fan wiki open. It's awful. I go back to Joey Drew's apartment so often it's not even funny. Actually, it's hilarious, but you know. Yeah. Man. Give us dot. Yeah. No, I want dot two. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. Honestly, I'm stealing whatever's in his fridge. Oh my gosh. Like, no, I absolutely feel that. I don't think that vital information should be revealed in the books, but I do feel like the books give us some really interesting framing. And so I think that I like them being optional. I really hope they continue to stay optional, but I'm still going to read them because, like, I really like the books. Yeah, maybe don't drink the milk. Funny you mention that, Mochi. Actually, wait, do I? Because I have my own theory up here. I linked Dreamfishers in this because, like, say hello to one of my favorite Bendy theories of all time. Shout out to Dreamfisher Nux, or NUX. Just the handprints. The handprints on the milk. Need I say more? I don't know if I necessarily agree that Joey made a child. Or, actually, no, I probably do agree that Joey made a child. That just sounds like a Joey Drew thing to do. Oh, can't have a kid of my own. Just gonna steal somebody else's income, or I'm just gonna make a kid, build a baby. Oh god, I don't know. We only saw one can of soup in the trailer, which kind of surprised me, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a great Easter egg for readers, but I'm also like, everybody when that baseball dropped was like, Buddy Lewick! And I'm like, that's not what the baseball said. Guys. Like, I don't want to shame anybody, and it's not shameful, but man. Hey, AMCT, welcome. Always coming back to Joey's apartment. So, like, Henry, then listen. There are so many things that are important about this area in the game. I don't, like, hi, Joey. I go back to these textures right here often. Like, so much. You have no idea. Joey's not an observant man. On the contrary. That depends. So, like, I actually have Joey's textures for his apartment here. So we can take a quick peek. Build a baby workshop. Build a tube baby. If you can't make a kid starve out, it's fine. No, you guys are great. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Audrey is Joey's niece, and she was the one who we heard after the credits. I'm very torn on that. I'm very torn on that. Because it's like, I think if Audrey ends up being related to Joey or Henry, then that would fit with things very nicely. But I don't know. Oh my gosh. Beth, that AU. I don't know which one that is, but that sounds fun. Oh god. I mean, there's one AU I've read where somebody, I forget who it was, but it was like, you know, everything that existed about the loop was something Joey dreamed up, and he was like in an asylum or something, and it was awful. Like, the story wasn't awful, it was just an awful circumstance. It was actually really well written. I wish I remembered who did it. It's the Favor AU. I am not familiar with that one. I may have to ask you about that in the future. That's cool. Yeah. It's like, I have a lot of feelings about Audrey. I really like her as a protagonist so far. She's emotive in ways that Henry wasn't. And I know that that's mostly because we wanted to give the fans and the people who were playing the game room to react in place of Henry. I totally understand why that's the case. But I really like that she's emotive. Okay? Like, she has so much going on, and it's great, and I love her a lot. She's got a really interesting design. She's just fun. She's got a great voice, too. And the fact that her voice actress referred to our little Bendy in the suit as Baby Benders, that makes me so happy. I don't know who her VA is yet, and I'm usually pretty well in the loop on that, but it just has not been revealed publicly, so I can't go and say, oh my gosh, person, I love you. But I guess I can say, Audrey's VA, I love you. You're great. Man, I am talking a lot, but I am saying nothing. I really hope that Audrey is written well. Like, honest to goodness, that would be fantastic. She seems like she has a lot of potential. It's just, part of my thing is, with if she's related to Henry or Joey, it does leave me with a lot of questions. I guess the thing that I don't like, can't believe beloved voice actress Catalyst voices Audrey. If only. Are you kidding? Like, you don't know it, but I'm gonna find a way to voice her in a bunch of fan projects. Mark my words. If I have to write them myself, I will. Just cue my goal of voicing something related to each and every one of the Bendy books. I really gotta get back to my project for TIOL, but I just have not had it in me. Honestly, listen, I sent in an email, along with everybody else to cameo in Bendy and the Dark Revival, and I never got a response, but that's okay. I wasn't expecting to. I'm pretty sure that was meant for, like, people who are, like, famous and well-known here in the game sphere. But, you know, I hope one day that maybe I can get into one. Next Bendy spinoff, Meatly, if you're listening, I'm available. We can make it happen. Oh, man. Where was I going? But no, I think my one thing about Audrey is, like, everybody insisting that she's related to Henry, and it's like, oh, that's why she was given the picture of the tunes to hang in her office. Well, one, we don't even know that it's her office. Okay, it looks like multiple people could have been working in that room. We just don't know. That's the thing I forgot to do. I was supposed to go to the Meatly's Twitter and grab more screenshots from him. Alas, I did not. Darn it. I guess we're not going to talk about Audrey's donut then. Sigh. See, AMCT. If you're on Tumblr, I've written a whole theory about this. I seriously think you can't have Bendy without both of them, but I get the sense that in some way, our new Bendy is going to be related to either Joey or Henry. I'm leaning more towards Joey, just on the merit of, oh, well, okay, last game, we had an ink demon, but not a perfect Bendy, and Joey was alive, and now we're in another game, and Joey's dead, and there's an ink demon, and now there's a Bendy. And it's just the math adds up. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. You know, because it could be Henry after all those loops. I mean, you know, finally, oh, they wore him down enough. Now he's a cartoon character, such is life. But I feel like it's Joey. Because I feel like there's no better way to bring it full circle from a narrative perspective than having our new perfect Bendy be Joey. One of the fan theories that I am violently passionate about, and if anybody is ever, and I mean ever, heard me talk about Bendy, I am really enthusiastic about the parallels between Joey and Bendy, Henry and Boris, and Abby and Alice. Because there's so many things in this franchise that when you look at them, when you look at those parallels, they're so nice. They're so nice. I'm gonna read the chat real quick. Audrey Lambert real. I would be so happy if Abby were related to Audrey in some capacity. I want to know what happened to Abby. Abby, my girl. You can't just give us a woman in a nice suit and then take her away. Okay? She's vital to this world. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it necessarily cheapens Audrey to have her be related to them, but it's like, it does kind of fall into, oh, you're the daughter of a chosen one. But, like, the math does add up. Because if you think about it, okay. Actually, I'll get to the math in a minute. Just want to read through and make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm sorry, guys. I've never done a stream like this before. I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. More of an addition than having your own story. Yeah. Honestly. Man. Hello, young Padawan. You got any bacon soup? Imagine Henry's just like the scruffy hermit that's hiding in the studio at this point because he's like, nope, I'm not dealing with this loop nonsense anymore. And Audrey has to give him soup. Honestly. What folder did I put it in? Oh my god. Yeah, so let's talk about our screenshot from today. Wait, is which one is it? I can't see. That's Animation Alley. Let me up the view. Ah, this one. You know, that's not something I theorized about today. But our newest screenshot from today. Let's talk about this. What if this is Henry's? Like, just going out on a limb here. Oh my god. Beth, I adore you. You were so sweet. No, you are not writing essays in the chat, Mochi. You're fine. You're delightful. I love it. Yeah. I don't think we know enough about Wilson either. We don't even know if Unknown Voice is Wilson. I mean, it's entirely possible, but he could have just, like, created a little ink puppet to go and do his bidding for him. I mean, anything's possible here. Man. Man. Yeah. Yeah, Joey's idea of being chosen. God. Yeah, it's remarkably polite given the locals. Could be Henry. No visitors. Go away. Don't knock. Trash can lid. What's the deal with that? Oh my god. Scruffy yes. I love that a lot. Man. Yeah, I'm really curious who this belongs to. Because I've got a couple theories. I feel like Wally could be one of them just on the merit that it's a trash can. And I feel like that screams janitor. What's the deal with trash can lids? Am I right? God, I can't do voices at this hour. I am not warmed up enough. Yeah. No, it might be a window shutter. I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in this image, honestly. Like, there's a paint can. Hi, paint can. Honestly, yeah. The reason I think there might be circular windows is because I feel like this might have something to do with Barley. Because, like, you look at Barley, and his whole thing is he's designed to be some sort of sailor character. And I think, like, with that, you could have an area that is designed to be vaguely like a ship. Just because I feel like we're going to get some pieces of this world going back to the thing that I got distracted from earlier, because I'm sorry, I am all over the place. Looking at this particular area with the car and the grocer and everything, and then the kingpin there, I feel like this area is meant to be some sort of set. When you look back at the Bendy franchise, we are reminded that this cartoon dimension that we are in, it exists because Joey was trying to create living cartoons. That was his goal. He wanted to create, he wanted his characters to be three-dimensional and real and existing and breathing and, living. And it's like, in order for them to live, and in order to make cartoons with them, you'd need set pieces. So I'm led to believe that everything in our cartoon dimension is Joey or Nathan at this point, trying to make set pieces for the cartoons to, act on. And I feel like that's why these areas exist the way they do. Like, some parts of the world are the studio, and it feels like, he was trying to make a place that was a workplace in the studio, but he was also trying to make a place for the toons to do things, and then he could film things. That just makes sense. So having an area that's related to Butcher Gang related, wow, I am redundant, excuse me. Having an area that's related to the Butcher Gang and, episodes that would include them makes a lot of sense. Having a porthole for something involving Barley or something involving a ship, that would make a lot of sense. That would make so much sense. And it's just, I'm so curious about where this is going. It's also what I think the Dollhouse area is. I think it might be related to that one short, Tonic Trouble. Because in that we don't actually see much of that short other than the Butcher Gang, torturing Bendy with him in a bottle. But Bendy shrunk down to the size of, like, a doll or something. Works with a dollhouse pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised by that, to be honest with you. Sammy Woodwright, don't knock. I expect people not to knock. Hi, Pepper! It's good to see you! Oh my gosh. I didn't expect you to be here. Happy birthday! That's why I didn't expect you to be here. You got birthday celebrating to do, miss. So thank you for coming. But also make sure you're celebrating, or I'm gonna boop your nose or something later. Meh. Yeah. For the betterment of the fact that I'm stuck with you all, leave me alone. Oh my god. Sammy with his sanity back would be so great. Yeah. Yeah, no, very much so a Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing. I think that's exactly where this is going. It's funny that we mentioned the Nightmare Run stuff. Even my threats are adorable. Listen, you've never heard me with Steve. Oh my gosh, I make threats like that all the time. It's awful. Man, I really do hope we get some Butcher Gang members who are like sentient in some way, which we could jump off and talk about Pie Butcher Gang. That smile on Stryker. I am just man. This is exactly what I was trying to go for. Yes, King verbally degrade me. God. Y'all are awful. Alright, you better have celebrated, Pepper, or I'm coming for you. We'll just have to spend another night calling with each other. Stryker is just happy to be here. He really is. Admittedly, Edgar's my favorite of the Butcher Gang, but anybody who does AU stuff with me is not surprised to learn this. I know that it's not canon compliant in the slightest, but I have a habit of including Jacob from Dreams Come to Life as the guy who becomes Edgar, and I'm really hopeful that one day that'll be the case. I know it won't be, but that's fine. It's just there's the right number of people in that group to be the Butcher Gang, because you've got Dave, you've got Richie, and you've got Jacob. 3 art department animation guys, 3 Butcher Gang members. This makes sense. But we're gonna transition from 3 to 4 for a second. Gosh. Yeah, no, we should, yes. So, let's just, oh my god. You put your Stryker in Monster High Abby Abominable's Scarus dress. I need to see that later combat. Oh my gosh. Honestly, yo, Mochi. VRAU. I want to know what the deal is with the Butcher Gang. I mean, I'd love to know with like any of your AUs. They're all great, but like that one specifically, I'd be really curious about. Let me see. Yeah, so there was their boss. That's true. Oh, excellent. Oh my god. Thank you, Mom Wombat. Thank you, Mom Bat. We love you. Honestly, listen, VRU is so great. You do such a good job with it. I love hearing about it every time you talk about it. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Mom. Listen, don't get me started on bats or I'm gonna give you my long rambling about Gwen. But she was the 4th here. I have a couple theories on this. So, you're welcome. Love you. So she was the 4th. Let's talk about she was the 4th for a second. She was the 4th could be so many things. It could be referring to something with the Butcher Gang because we know that they're getting a 4th member. We don't know who that 4th member is. It could be the Duck. It could be, I'll give you the thoughts on Gwen in a minute. I want to start here. Then we're going to go to Gwen because gosh darn it, I have so many thoughts on Gwen. Gwen and Canoodle trip me up so much in this franchise, but we'll get to that. So, if we're going with, art department equals Butcher Gang, I feel like she was the 4th could easily pertain to Abby. And that's part of where I think this might be going, because, 4th Butcher Gang member as Abby would be really awesome. I mean, give us Boss Lady Abby. She dresses the part. She's tough. She doesn't take crap from anybody. Give us good Abby Lambert. Give us the content, Meatley. Please. Yeah, oh my god. So it's like I feel like it could be related to that, but I also feel like this could be related to Audrey. One of the theories I've seen around, hi James! It's good to see you! I hope you slept well. Yeah, one other thing One of the things I'm thinking also is she was the fourth could also still pertain to things with Abby, but with Audrey in the mix. So I feel like, well, some people have been saying, "Oh, well, okay, so you have Allison, Tom, Henry, then Audrey thrown into the studio one by one." Because we don't know if Wally was necessarily put into the studio, so that could make sense. From that perspective, like that was the order of the last four people that came in. I think you could frame it as Joey, Henry, Abby, and then Audrey as well. I don't know if that's where it's going. I feel like it could be. You could be talking about a fourth attempt at Alice Angel, I think, because you've got, our Twisted Alice, aka Susie. You've got Allison. You've got possibly Betty. We'll get to Betty being an Alice in a bit. I want to talk about that. And then Audrey. You could have Audrey as an Alice attempt. Or you could not. You could just have her as, like, the fourth relevant girl in this franchise. I'm sorry, that's mean. Because we have Lacey right there. Actually, how many women do we have in Bendy? Because it's not as many as the men. But we do have a lot more women than we used to. None of the games are connected and the lore is a lie. Yeah. Gender? I hardly knew her. God, I would be so into that for Wally. Grandma Franks. That'd be cool. Yeah, I feel like, man, one of the things is I'm very tempted to believe that if we see Abby in this game, she's gonna be an Alice Angel. And this is no gender for me, thanks. Pepper mood. Yeah, you identify as Muppet. Muppety goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Bernie. Man. Yeah, the body count with the coffins. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That could be saying something with that. That's a good thought. I hadn't considered that one. I know there are more than 4 coffins, but like, it could be interesting if like that was like Lacey was the 4th out of the coffins to be made. That would be awful. Please don't do that to Lacey. Lonnie Manella, my beloved. Speaking of which, I'm really curious. So, in case you didn't know, good number of 4ths to think about. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Muppet. Y'all don't know Pepper's Muppet Sona. She's so good. Oh my god. So where was I about to go with this? Help. I had a thought, and now it's gone. I'm just gonna give myself a minute. Also, I may take a break in a minute just to real quick BRB because it is that magical hour where my brother has to go to bed. So I gotta make sure to... Alice is in the 4th, thank you. So going along with my earlier parallel of Joey, Henry, Abby, parallels to Bendy, Boris, and Alice. Wow, I cannot talk. Muppet distract you. Yeah, always. Muppets are so distracting. By the way, happy 53rd anniversary to Sesame Street. Did y'all know that? It's Sesame Street's 53rd anniversary. That's wild. Sesame Street is as old as my dad. Who'd have thunk? Ironically, they have a birthday in the same month. Not the same day, though. That's like later in the month. That's gonna be a hard day. But yeah. No, so Alice is in the 4th. So, yeah. When they Sesame those get ready to meet your maker in the Muppet Show tonight. Wait, really? You've never seen Sesame Street? Mochi, you live in a place where you get exclusive Muppets that we in America don't. Man, I can't ask you what Muppets you get. Darn it. Oh well, that's okay. Yeah, because they actually do have different characters depending on the region you're in. Yeah. So, yeah, I just feel like Abby is gonna get revealed. Oh, yeah, no, that's rude. Never mind. Rude to you. How dare. So it's just, I feel like Abby is gonna get revealed to be a perfect Alice. Okay? Like, this is my thing. When I feel like in order to have our set of quote unquote perfect tunes, I feel like we need, Joey, Henry, and Abby. And I feel like it's going to end up with Joey as Bendy, Henry as a Boris of some sort, and Abby is our perfect Alice. Because when you look at the characterization, from, yeah, Henry Boris, I don't, like, when you look at the Bendy cartoons, what is the relationship between Bendy and Boris? Like, think about this for a minute. Bendy is always portrayed as this character that I am thinking about that fiddle. If he ends up as Borkus, I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. But I have theorized about it. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. But it's on the table. But no, like, you look at the relationship between Boris and Bendy, and you see, man, when you see their relationship, you have to, like, you look at it and it's like Bendy is always the underdog. He's always getting picked on. He's always getting, hurt. And it's usually Boris is right there as either an antagonist or an apathetic force, who is not, what's the word for it? Who's not willing to help. He's shown as lazy. He's shown as uncaring. And it's really interesting because that to me feels like Joey's perspective on his relationship with Henry. That Henry has, let him down. Henry is not pulling his weight. Henry's not doing his part. Henry is the Boris in that relationship, and Joey's the Bendy, and that's how, Joey sees it. But when you look at the Crack Up comics, you get a different story. Okay? Like, if I scroll to any of these, you see that Bendy and Boris are partners in crime. They're helping each other. They work together and are equally mischievous and equally interesting as characters. You also see that Bendy is constantly getting into trouble. And it's like Boris is often either getting sucked into trouble with him or pulling him out of trouble. And then additionally, you have Alice Angel, who pulls them both out of trouble. She's kind of the voice of reason. She's also tough. She's also not afraid to get a little bit devilish. She dresses really well. And she's not afraid to take chances, and she's not afraid to call Bendy out on his BS. So it's like, that to me reads as a really interesting Abby characterization when you look at what the relationship with these characters is. Like, I feel like the comics are a lot more true to what the relationship and the friendship was with, our trio of creators. And then, like, that's gonna play out somehow in this game. Like, that is my biggest theory that I am hopeful for coming true. I really want to see Abby as Perfect Alice for that reason. I feel like the three of them together are what make that dynamic. That the relationship of these characters is representative of what their relationship is. And I can't confirm this. I feel like it's a little bit circumstantial, and I wish I had more to prove it with. But I could go on for hours in an essay talking about this. Yeah, because, no, Fiddle, you bring up a good point. We absolutely have the Brute, Miss Twisted, and Cameraman, and that's really interesting. Does also line up a bit with TIOL and the play. Yeah, that's the other thing. So there's a play in The Illusion of Living where called the Angel and the Devil, and Joey plays the role of the devil, and Abby plays the role of the angel, and the two of them are having this really interesting conversation and a little bit of an argument about morality and what decision the person that they're trying to be the conscience of is going to make. And oftentimes, the way that I've always interpreted that scene is that it's the two of them on Henry's shoulders, but I don't know. And I often think about the choice that was made in that play. We never find out what choice the man made, if he did something that was good or something that was bad. And I often wonder if that play is somehow representative of Henry's choice to leave the studio. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but I just feel like that would be a really cool way to tie it together. I also feel like Henry may have been there for that play, even though we don't talk about it. I feel like Henry was meant to play the man in that play. I can't explain it, but something about it. Yeah. No, I feel like there was something about there should have been a third person. Something was meant to be there. Let me scroll up real quick. Sorry, I actually have to close my eyes in order to focus and get the thought out, because I am just having a hard time focusing. Because I want to interact with you guys, but I also have stuff that I want to share here, and it's finding the balance is tough, but we're trying. Oh my god. Yeah, I am all for having a tune sensor on there, but yeah. Abby Alice would swear. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, Bendy and Boris do have a weird dynamic. Man. Oh my gosh, I need to see that post at some point, Fiddle. That sounds good. Boris is Donald Duck. Should have pushed a little harder, Boris. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh. When were the comics made in relation to the shorts? That's a good question. It depends on which ones you're talking about. So let me actually pull up... Where's my other window? Hi, Joey Drew's apartment. Good to see you. You're gonna see my recommended. Don't judge me too hard. If it loads. This is why I can't play games on stream. We just chug, baby. Okay. Joey Drew Studios. So the nice part is I don't have to click on any of the videos, because they all should say, come on. Load, baby. Please. Come on. Load. Please. I just want to talk. You know what? Fine. Have it your way. There we go. So... Oh, wait. No. Ugh. They don't say the date on the thumbnails. I thought for sure they did. Yeah, I know that these were... Actually, what am I doing? People tell me what I am doing. Oh, interesting. I forgot about that. Also, I forgot about the Henry audio logs. That's a time. Super Boris. God, Super Boris. No, I would not go to his apartment often because he sucks and he doesn't clean up after himself. Though I will tell you, I did take the time to go and model his apartment, or not model, but recreate his apartment in The Sims 4. And I shared it on The Sims gallery if you guys ever want to download that. Yeah. No, Boris is absolutely an everyman. And so is Henry. Like, my gosh. Updates, I feel that. Yeah, 1929 was the very first short. Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mochi. Hey, Steve, we are chatting up a storm. Wow. Yeah. You shouldn't need a maid. Man, I'm sorry. I don't mean to judge Joey Drew. Actually, I do. But not on this thing. I will judge him about other things, but not his cleanliness. It's just, I would not step into his apartment. It's not clean enough for me. Aw. Hope it went well, Steve. Yeah, so we should get him one of those, like, grabbers. Oh my gosh, Beth, no. No, so, like, you know, like those T-Rex things where it's like you have the Tyrannosaurus Rex head and you pull a little thing and then you what's the word for it? Then you can grab stuff with it. We need to give Joey one of those. Gets Joey a Roomba and immediately leaves. What are you doing sending a Roomba to 1963? Are you trying to end the timeline? Oh my gosh. To let you know, the Bendy comics went from the 1930s all the way to 1946. The comics went till 1946. I can't. I can't. I hate everything. Why is 1946 important? 1946 is the year everything goes to garbage. Where we are in hell in a handbasket. Oh my gosh. And there's actually... Man. Go ahead. You are totally fine to directly quote the book, Mochi. I am more than chill with that. Henry's always had been one with the back, but yeah, he has. Man. The comics went to 1946. Well, it's interesting because I'm going to read you... Yes. At this point, I read aloud the final stage directions since we lacked another actor. The door. Stage right opens. A man in all white enters calmly and chooses a seat, brushes it off carefully and sits. He takes his hat off and holds it gingerly in his lap. Yes, I did see Back to the Future, James. Yeah, so... Man. Yeah, no, I feel like that's the case. I'm so with you there, Mochi. Thank you. Listen, sometimes the character voices come out. You're lucky I haven't had a reason to do the Sammy voice. Although I might later, we'll see. Thank you. Y'all, it's just silly impressions here. But I'm actually gonna read you something from the beginning of the Crack Up comics, because this is really interesting. So we have 4 paragraphs at the end. Oh, do it. I dare you. Okay. Joey Drew Studios had never been short on ink, but when the United States joined the war, ink and paper was needed for all manner of purposes. The last handful of issues pushed for war bonds, almost as a last-ditch effort to save the series from supply shortages. The once great comic book division of Joey Drew Studios was shuttered in 1942. Most of the large presses in the basement were scrapped and their metal repurposed. That, to me, tells me that the machines used to make all of the comic books were sacrificed to make the ink machine. At least that's what I feel that's implying. But it's really interesting, because the next paragraph goes, one press did remain in operation until 1946. Joey Drew used his last remaining machine to create promotional pamphlets for his cartoon visions, trying to drum up money from investors and excite interest in Hollywood. These efforts did not succeed, and most of the remaining pamphlets were lost in an accident involving a burst ink pipe. It's really interesting. It's really interesting to me that he sacrificed... Yeah, metal was sacrificed for the war. But it's like, I feel like because it's 1942, and that's the year that Thomas Connor starts coming into the story, as you can see... Well, actually, this log is from 1943, but you get it, close to 1942. I think the implication there is that the metal that was used on the printing presses was recycled to be used in the ink machine. I also feel like maybe you got a little bit of that from Nathan, because he has everything with the steel industry, and I feel like that's a really good fit for that, but I feel like that's what happened. Yeah, no, they could absolutely be used for the soup cans too. I would not doubt that. I forgot that those two had that theory. That's a good theory. It also leads me to wonder how much in this studio is made of ink. Like, okay, here's a really silly theory that I've had for a long time. Oh my god. Y'all are trying to get me to do voices. I can't. Gotta upkeep since the ink keeps eating the pipes. Yeah. Cheap cobbled together pipes and corrosive ink. Yeah, no. A recipe for leaks. It is. It so is. War, what is it good for? Destroying printing presses, apparently. No, but Beth, you brought up, like, many toys being sacrificed. There's one thing in the original Bendy that trips me up so badly. I think about it often, where it's like, Sean has that line of, how am I gonna get rid of all this angel whatchamacallit? I'm gonna have to, melt it all down. Why would you melt plushies? Explain that to me. How does that make sense? Like, I mean, yeah, if you set a plush on fire, it melts, it burns, but that's weird. That's always struck me as weird. I don't think that the plush are made of plush materials, especially because Sean talks about painting them. Like, I know that that is a thing, having a hard head that is painted on older toys, but I just feel like they're all made of ink. I don't know. It's just something about that has struck me as, like, why would you melt down the toys? I feel like if you're talking about melting as in, like, they're made of ink and you melt them back down into ink so you can reuse them for something else, that would make sense to me. Because it also would line up with my other thought in how a bunch of people got ink poisoning, which is like Joey made a bunch of mugs, because we know that the gent machines can make mugs. I feel like I feel like the mugs were made of ink, and then a bunch of people got ink poisoning from drinking stuff out of them. That just feels like a really good way to really quickly poison everybody. I could be totally wrong on this, but that's my theory. I just, like, screw Sammy, specifically drinking ink from the closet there. Nah, just poison this coffee cup. I mean, you know? Maybe. I just don't know. Or, get him possessed. We haven't actually seen, like, a ton with the concept of possession here. Though I can tell you something from Lauren Singer herself. About a year ago, well, a little more than a year ago at this point, Lauren Singer joined up with a gentleman known as the Canadian Bard on Twitch, and they hosted a live stream together where Bard played through Bendy for the very first time. And during the stream, Lauren dropped several really interesting tidbits about Bendy's development and her part in it. And one of the things that we got confirmed from her was that Twisted Alice does have, two people. There's Susie Campbell, and then there's a demon that is slowly corrupting her. That's canon. I always thought it was like, man, it got taken down while you were watching the VOD. I am so sorry, Combat. I took notes from it, and I'm really sad that I didn't know how to save it. I wish I'd taken more time to figure that out, because it was so cool. Oh my god, that's $40 at Sears. Man, actually, I will be right back. I'm going to, how do I do a real quick BRB stream? BRB on the stream. You know what? Hang on. Can I? Yeah, let's do this. This is great. I'm not necessarily sure. I think the ink is not ink. That would be wise. Okay. In case anybody comes in while I'm gone, I will be right back. All right. We are back. Just had to make sure I said goodnight to the little guy. Because you know how it is. Children of the future, gotta love them, gotta respect them. Anywho, we're gonna cancel that because we don't actually want to save that over our don't knock image. Oh my gosh. Yeah, can confirm. No arson. Mochi, I can clearly see the chat. James, I'm getting you arrested for arson later. Yeah, little bro's doing great. He's such a good kid. I love him. Thank you. No, gosh. Yeah, thank you, VR Joey, for knowing how to code. Bless you. Oh, man. It's Sims family cooking, and that's the... Oh, my God. Man, the bacon soup recipe is actually really good. Having made it several times at this point, can confirm it's actually great. Thank you, Bookpass's wife, because she's actually the person who wrote it, and came up with it. Yeah, so the voice of Jack Fane, his wife is the one that made the bacon soup. That's really... I'd never thought about that before. Hey, new Jack headcanon! Jack likes soup. And cozy sweaters. And fall. Okay. Oh my god. You know, I think this is a good way to talking about one of my favorite things ever. Bendy and Nightmare Run. Good, Cthulhu Jack deserves all the soups and stews. Aw, heck yeah. Go get Jack a wife. Let her make him stew. Or he can make her stew. We are all about equality here. So, this is not the folder I want. The folder I want, I have a separate folder for Bendy and Nightmare Run stuff, because I have so many questions about this. Who here has played Bendy and Nightmare Run? I'm just morbidly curious. And more importantly, who followed the Twitter for it as it was coming out or looked back at it retroactively? Because we're going to talk about radioactive bacon soup. Now, you may be hearing me say that and be like, Kat, you're crazy. I'm not. Well, I probably am. But not about this. You're not missing much in the way of lore when it comes to Bendy and Nightmare Run. But, man, I have so many thoughts about that. Yes. Combat, give them all the soup for me, please. Canoodle here boggles my mind. Excuse me. Man. So, Canoodle is one of our bosses here in Bendy and Nightmare Run. He's the third one you can unlock. And so there are a total of 4. There's, what's the word for it? Wow. Well, there's Gasket, he's the second one. You got Chester, who is, the treasure chest. He actually makes an appearance in, Bendy, the original one. Because, there's a small cameo right before you get on the boat to go into the Ink River, where, his silhouette is there in ink, and that's kind of cool. Because, fun fact, this game was developed alongside the original Bendy between chapters 4 and 5. Yeah. Yeah, no, they don't even have a rhyming scheme. It's awful. And where's the last one? Then there's Dewey. He's a librarian. I like him. There are a lot of people who, when these characters came out, they were like, oh my gosh, Grant is either Gasket or Dewey. And I'm like, yeah, that checks. I remember there was somebody who, like, gave Grant these glowing eyes. I remember there was this other really great comic where Grant just, like, woke up as a car one day. And that was just a trip, but it was such a good comic. Oh my gosh. I wish I remembered who made it. I would share it here. But there's something I want to point out about Canoodle. I will get to Gwen in a minute. But Canoodle, I want to talk about. So this is Canoodle's thing. Wait, oh my god, I didn't realize that this lined up with our recycle talk earlier. That's hilarious. This is why it's important to recycle. If you don't, bacon soup cans will sit in the junkyards and angrily wait for any passerby who strays too close. Stay out of my junkyard, Canoodle yelled out. Try and make me, Bendy quipped with a flippant shout. Now Canoodle is chasing Bendy throughout. Oh my god. I don't necessarily know. I used to think that Grant, Sean, and wait, was it? Well, it was Grant, Sean, and Tom, but then they moved the audio logs around, and then people were like Lacey, and then it's like I don't know. Canoodle has always confused me because this talks about him being in a junkyard, but if I go to the other tweets that mention him, two of them mention graveyards. In the quiet darkness of an abandoned graveyard, you hear footsteps, fast ones, heading your way. Something doesn't want you here. Want to find out what? Also, you should probably escape. And it's not the only one with Canoodle's face. Graveyards aren't the safest place to run, but don't let that stop you. There's things to do and mayhem to cause. Just watch out for angry tombstones you're bound to attract in Bendy and Nightmare Run. Here's the thing. There's never a graveyard in this game. So, like, I've thought about, the junkyard as the graveyard a lot. Because, Mochi, you sort of see where I'm going with this here. It's just... Man. It's just... It's interesting to me. There's one thing that I can't show you because I don't have a good screenshot of it. But when you're playing the level that Canoodle is in, one of his attacks to try and hit you is he will throw these barrels at you. And if you happen to catch the barrel at just the right angle, it has a radioactive symbol on it, which leads me to believe that that's tied to his backstory in some way. Like, he was a regular bacon soup can once, and then radioactivity brought him to life. And it has me asking a lot of questions about what that means, what that could mean in canon. I don't know. There's just something about that detail that's always, had me thinking about things. Death and taxis. Well, yeah, because it's really funny you mentioned that, Mochi. If I remember correctly, Gasket's stage is Death and Taxis. It might be Death and Taxis. I believe it is. Actually, I have Bendy and Nightmare Run on my phone. I'm going to load it up real quick, and I'm going to tell you what each of the stages are named because I forgot. But I'm pretty sure that's what the name of it is. Oh, get this sick music. I'm going to turn that off, actually. So the first one with Chester is Bendy Walks the Plank. The second one with Gasket is Bendy in Death and Taxis. With Canoodle, it's Bendy in Soup Gone Bad. And the last one with Dewey is Bendy in Dewey Decimated, which I think is hilarious. Dewey Decimated is great. But all these characters are mad at Bendy because he did something that, was not considerate of them. In the case of Chester, he stole his treasure. In the case of Gasket, he went and got a ride without paying Gasket, and now Gasket is chasing him. With Canoodle, he invaded on Canoodle's property, which is the junkyard. And with Dewey, he wasn't quiet in the library, so now he has to die. It's just, when you frame it like that, this game is so dark. And if you look at the animations for Bendy and the other characters' death in this game, it's just... man, they kind of freak me out, and I'm a fully grown adult. But there's another thing that I actually wanted to point out about this, and we'll get to the other enemies in a minute. I want to point out the costumes on the wiki real quick for you, because there's something I noticed on here that I didn't notice the first time I went through this game. So each of the different characters, you have costumes you can unlock. Everybody has a couple of basic costumes that they all share. So everybody has a pirate, a mechanic, a construction, and a librarian costume. But then you get to the optional ones that are related to other things. You've got explorer, chauffeur, mobster. Or gangster, excuse me. I love the gangster Bendy so much. He is so reminiscent of that time. With Boris in particular, I'd like to draw your attention to Boris's costumes, because he has the most interesting ones of the set. You have Automatron, which, to me, screams a little bit Tom, a little bit of the Bendy robot. Gangster Bendy is incredibly cute. Oh my god. I think I have him in my game. I can't remember, though. You have Cowboy. Cowboy's important. You have Davy Crockett, which is, Automaton. Yeah. Cowboy and Fancy. I worked so hard to get enough levels up on Boris so that I could get the Fancy costume, and it just now occurred to me what that's probably a reference to. So who remembers how DCTL goes? So, if you're not in the know about Bendy Dreams Come to Life, in that book we have Buddy Lewick, who, spoilers, at the very end is turned into a Boris. And when he's turned into a Boris, the thing he's wearing is a suit, because he went to this big fancy party that Joey was having to, basically unveil the plans for Bendyland. So, this is cruel. The book wasn't out at the point that this was in the game, but I have so many questions. Why would you do that to me? Bendy development team, why? It feels like this has to be a reference to that. Maybe it's not. Maybe we just think Boris looks good in a suit and hat, and we're correct, he does. But if that's not a Buddy reference, I don't know what is. Same with Cowboy. There's not a cowboy costume for Bendy, but there is one for Boris. There's not a single cowboy stage in the game. Why would you pick Cowboy of all things for Boris? It feels very directed at Buddy. Ugh. Maybe it's not. But, ugh. Also, Boris has the best costumes of the bunch. Changed my mind. What do you mean? Hi, Lexi. We need to talk. Okay? Yeah. So we've got Pirate Alice, Mechanic Alice. I love Mechanic Alice. She's got, that Rosie the Riveter thing going on. We got Construction. We got Librarian. Come on. If she had pants, that would be Abby. Oh my god. I really... Give Alice the gangster outfit and... that's just Abby. But we also have Flamenco. We also have Flapper. I love the Flapper outfit on her so much. I play with that a lot. Business. Oh, right. Business. Hi, Abby. I'm not certain on Wally being Boris. I used to be in the camp of Wally is Boris, and I think that he could still be a Boris, but there are other places where I think he might be in this franchise. Yeah, okay, that's the real thing. You're either Boris or a monster. It's Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I feel like at one point... Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the J. My brain is scrambled. I don't remember if Abby wore a Flapper outfit at one point. Did she for the play? I can't remember. Or did she for the art gallery? There's Hula Dancer, which is just... then Golden Alice. And it's just... I look at the business costume and I'm like... I don't think Constance wore a Flapper outfit. She did dress up that one night. But I don't remember. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah. She is? Oh my gosh. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I need to draw her like that. So yeah, if we needed more for my theory of character parallels, this game Yeah. Yeah, no, I got... Okay. Do I have to read that in the Joey voice? Oh my god. So yeah, so this is reinforcing it for me. But there's something else in here. Listen, Mochi, I'll do it. Don't you tempt me. Going back to Bendy's costumes real quick. Again, this has such Joey vibes. It's not even funny, but and just also kind of a Wally vibe with that smile. There is something wonderful about that smile. I don't know where in the game this render is. I don't think it's in the game, but it's really cute. I just looking at the mechanic costume. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it is cuz it's the same with this one. I don't remember. But I look at the mechanic costume on Bendy and I look at it for Boris as well. And it's just I don't know. If every character didn't have them, well, they're almost the same outfit between these two characters, but Alice's is different. And it leads me to a question. I don't know. I am the thing about Wally being Boris is that the reason for him being Boris is because he was the last one that they needed to fill a slot for at the time that we got Boris. We weren't sure about Boris's identity because there just wasn't a lot to go off of there. And I think part of my thing is, yeah, I am, this is where I was going with that. I would not be surprised if Bendy, in some way, either Bendy or the Ink Demon, ended up being Wally. That is my suspicion. Because the thing that we see, to circle back a little bit, I will get back to you, Bendy and Nightmare Run. I have much more to say. This is Joey's bulletin board, okay? And we have a lot of things going on this board. And, okay, wait. I don't have the texture for the other one, do I? No, I don't. Rats. Soldier Bendy referring to Joey in World War I. Oh, fiddle. I didn't even think of that. See? Genius. Yeah, well, actually, wait, where was that? We got construction, but are we referring, which one is Soldier Bendy? We got, I guess construction sort of looks like a soldier to me, but explorer could be a soldier. I don't know. Yeah, no. It's just like, man, I have so many thoughts about this. Where was I going? I was talking about Joey's bulletin board. I'm talking about letters. I want to talk about letters. So, letters. We have several of them in the Bendy world. On Joey's bulletin board, we have a letter from Allison, where it appears Joey reached out. Joey reached out to her after a long time, and we suspect that she possibly came back to the studio and was, then tricked to being made into Allison. And it's really interesting because that particular letter is the first mention we get in this franchise of Archgate, because Allison very casually drops the fact that she's working for Archgate now. So that's really interesting that Nathan took his actress. I'm very curious. I am so curious as to how that story played out. But I'm also curious about the other letter, which is Wally's, where we find out that he is retired in Florida and has grandkids and a missus, apparently. Well, at least he says it's a missus. We don't know much about, who the missus actually is or what the deal is with that. But we know that that's a thing. So I've always taken that to believe that either Wally's in the studio or he hasn't gotten there yet. You see, actually, my whole fic, Searching the Depths, hinges on this. I don't think Wally's back in the studio yet. I feel like he's the last one that needs to be brought into the loop. The missus is shot. Listen. Listen. That's a good ship. We love them in SRU so much. But it's just like, man, Whatever the case is, I don't think Wally's back yet. I think Wally is our final piece, and I think Wally could be our answer to having Bendy. Like, in my fic in particular, I work with it in the way that, Joey has brought him back because he needs him to give the ink demon a soul. Um, Captain Michi, hello. Or Capitan Michi? Apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. They're a good ship. I'd never heard of that ship before you. But it's a good ship. But it's interesting to me. The other thing is, with the whole Wally is Boris thing, I feel like Safe House Boris doesn't need to be the same Boris. Okay? Like, my thing about it is, the Boris we see in it may not be the Boris who was always there. Because the way that I see it, there are lots of Borises that, existed in the studio. Come on, Ink Demon, this... Well, wait. Let me actually read this first. Oh my god. Come on, Ink Demon, will this one work? I'm running out of people stupid enough to come back to the studio. Joey Drew at some point. God. Listen, just because something was popular doesn't mean I followed it to combat. I can be a fool sometimes. This is possible. No, it's just, I feel like Safe House Boris may have at some point been Buddy, but I don't necessarily think it's Buddy here in the present. Like, by the time Henry gets there, I don't think it's Buddy. I think it's probably someone completely unrelated to everything. I feel like Buddy might have lived there at some point, and some of the stuff in there is definitely related to him, but I don't think he's the only Boris that's ever lived in the Safe House. There's so many Borises in the studio. There can't just be one that's perfect. And frankly, I don't think Buddy would be a perfect Boris. Like, there's a lot about Buddy that leads me to believe that his characterization doesn't line up with how I feel a perfect Boris would, work. Well, I wouldn't put it past them to retcon it, combat. But at the same time, I think Boris, as we see him in Bendy and the Ink Machine, doesn't necessarily have an identity. I think he's someone that we don't know. Because, or at least a throwaway of some sort. Because there's a lot that goes into it. Also, there's the confusion with Tom there, which drives me bonkers. Because if you give Boris the bone in Chapter 3, and then... you get to Chapter 5 and you get the seeing tool and you can see things, you see that Tom has the bone in his mouth, and that's weird. Like, why is that the case? This has always tripped me up. I don't understand why. Just, why is it there? Like, I feel like the mural on the wall is the closest thing we have to maybe Safe House Boris being Buddy at one point. But again, that could have been made at any time. I feel like if Buddy is going to be any version of the Safe House Boris, he's probably the one in Bendy and the Dark Survival, which I think is hilarious because he's got Sammy as a roommate and they seem to get along. And I just really want a universe where Sammy and Buddy are roommates and they get along. Yeah, no, Wandering Sin Bendy doesn't seem to be canon. Like, he's there for us to find because, like, the dev team was dealing with a lot of hackers ending up where they shouldn't be, so they're like, okay, let's give them something to find then. And that's about it. Yeah. I feel like Wally is better suited to be Bendy than he is Boris. I mean, Safe House Boris behaves in such a way that he could easily be a janitor or a gent worker. And I think that still holds, but I don't necessarily think it's Wally. Because there's a lot to suggest that Wally is a lot more competent than he seems. But I don't know. There's also, let me pull up my folder again. There's this image, which I'm actually gonna rotato real quick. Because if I remember correctly, this. You want to talk about this? Yeah, okay. You know what? I'll give you that. I think Wally, yeah, Wally from the angle of like cartoon Boris, I can believe it. But I fully believe that like comics Boris is such a Henry parallel. It's not even funny. Um, it feels right. Yeah, it feels like Bendy was one of those characters that he was saving for later because you know. Oh my god. Listen, what's more traumatizing? The fact that he was roommates with Wally or the fact that they got along and didn't kill each other? So, Ink Machine designed by Wally Franks. Willie could hold Wally host? I'm going to need you to elaborate on that. Oh. God. Oh, host. Oh. Oh, you were going to say hostage, weren't you? Yeah. Yeah, no, because I'm pretty sure the Ink Machine is Tom's creation, but it's really interesting to me that Wally's the one listed on the Ink Machine's design template. And this is seen two places in game, actually. It's seen both on Joey's bulletin board and in the studio itself. You can find the blueprints for the Ink Machine with Wally's name on them somewhere, I think in chapters 1 or 2? I can't remember where. Willie could hold Wally hostage for answers to the Ink Machine. Honestly, that would be a really good way of having this diagram come up again. I would love that. Especially if Wally hasn't made it to the studio yet. I'm super into that. Yeah, no, I feel like that's part of it. Like, one, to take credit away from Tom and spite him, because Joey Drew is a very spiteful person. But also, like, to get it out of Jen's clutches, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, it obviously doesn't work, but... Oh my god. Wait, two Jacks? Oh, you're talking about Johnny. Yeah, so, funny thing, Johnny comes up twice in this series. I'm hoping for him to come up a third, because we have the Johnny's Broken Heart achievement in Chapter 2, and, you play the organ a certain way, and boom, we hear Johnny wailing, and you get Johnny's Broken Heart. But then in Bendy and the Dark, or Boris and the Dark Survival, you have, once you unlock Sammy, you have the instrument puzzle, and if you play the instruments wrong, then you get Johnny. And it's just, I really want him to come back. I really want to see Johnny. Like, man, I love you, Johnny. You're a great character. We've never seen you, but I just want to see you. Please, come back. Joey being petty and trying to steal credit out of spite? Willy Wonka's shocked face. Okay. Aside from Joey, Wally seems a lot like a Bendy person, but in a more fun, positive manner. Honestly, he could. You could really go either way. Hi, Hat. Good to see you. Are you the only one who feels like Wally or Tom should get proper credit for designing the ink machine? No, you're not. I feel like they should. Wally's got his own bit of Bendy chaos going on. Honestly, Wally is just a cartoon character in real life. Like, let's be real. He doesn't even need to be a cartoon clone. Yeah. I mean, why was this diagram in Sammy's office? Is that where it was? No, I mean, Jack, there's a side character? Oh my god. Okay. No. Hat, do not apologize. I am so happy to have you here regardless of length. It is good to see you. And I hope your schoolwork went well. Kick its butt. Yeah. It was a different one? Okay. Yeah, no, I do remember that being there. And I think part of it may be because he had the pump switch, which was horrible. Maybe it's there because he had the pump switch. Maybe it's there because Sammy was, snooping around where he shouldn't have been. There's a lot. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, the audio log does give me Bendy Boris vibes. That I love that we had one dual person audio log. I really hope we get more of those because fun fact for those of you who came in after Bendy was already complete, that audio log wasn't originally in chapter 3. That was added in post for updates once we got chapter 5. Or no, wait, when we got chapter 4 or chapter 5. It was one of the two. In one of the updates, they added it. And the area that you find it in is actually from the Chapter 3 trailer, because that area never appeared in Chapter 3 originally. It's such an interesting piece of development history. I love it. Oh my god. Ray. Ray, that's such a mood. Was it the same... Was it the same time Chapter 2 got updated? Yeah, Chapters 1, 2, and 3 all got updated at the same time once Chapter 4 was added, but I think did they get updated a second time when Chapter 5 happened? I can't remember. God. Oh no. Bernie. 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 The searcher with the cool hat that stole the valve Henry needed. We do not forget about Jack Fane here. You don't know the people in the chat the way I do, but we are hardcore Jack Fane fans, and Jack deserved better. We love Jack so much. Yeah. Thank you. Do I sound professional? I feel like I was a mess earlier in the stream, but now I've kind of mellowed out. But yeah, no. So... Actually, we did have Tom's audio logs before Chapter 4. The thing is, they were in different spots. We didn't have Tom's audio logs at all in Chapter 1. Tom wasn't a character that appeared until Chapter 3 happened. And the first audio log we get for him, I believe, is the one about the elevator. And the whole "it's dark and it's cold" one was also in Chapter 3 until it got moved. So, there's your interesting history. Tom was a retcon thing. He wasn't made relevant to the lore until we got to Chapter 4, like, changing things around with the way that it updated. And that's always been something that really struck me as weird, because Tom was kind of out of place to begin with, but then they retroactively added him back in. May Jack rest in peace. May Jack have some peace, my god. Y'all are sweet. Oh my gosh. If Sammy can come back to life 3 times, Jack can come back. Yeah, Jack should come back. I'm just saying. I know we all have theories about who... Okay, actually, I'm gonna pull up the trailer again. Yeah, Jack didn't die. What do you mean? Now let's... Okay, where's the big blobby monster? You know the one. This guy. Who wants to place bets on who this guy is? I feel like one option could very solidly be Jack Fane, and he's angry because he lost his hat. I'm also a fan of believing it could be Nathan or it could be Bertram, just because I feel like they fit the shape description. Or I don't know if Nathan's ever actually been described as rotund, but I feel like he would be rotund. I don't know why. But yeah, like, imagine this guy as Jack Fane. He might just be a guy. He could totally just be a guy. Maybe it's Wilson. No, it's not Wilson. Man. Yeah, people can be remade over and over, but they don't necessarily turn out the same every time they're remade. Gosh. Yeah, Ray. Ray, same wavelength. Okay. Someone brand new, but a killer VA like Sammy. Oh, that would be fun. It's Willie Franks with a steel chair! Jack wants his hat back, and Wilson promised it to him if he brings him Audrey. Listen, I just need this guy to appear alongside Sammy, okay? I need Sammy in this game so badly. And there is something I'm debating showing on this stream, and I have it ready to go if I need it to, but man, It's me with a funny coat. What a nice hat. Wait, why do I hear boss music? Oh my god. See, I would actually love that. That'd be amazing. Just don't make me squish Jack again if he comes back. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I'm saying. I don't remember Tom's audio log originally being there after the drop. I don't think there was an audio log after the drop in the original chapter 1, but I could be totally wrong on this. And correct me if I'm wrong. What are words? What are words? I was going somewhere and I forget where. Yeah. Thank you, Beth. You've been around long enough that I think you would know as well. I suspect Fiddle would know as well, too, because she's also been here a long time. But yeah, man. As long as Jack, yeah, if you went straight from the fall to act, yeah, you went straight from fall to axe to coffin room, then fall over. Yeah, that's how chapter 1 went originally. It was wild watching the game develop, like, as it was happening. Because I've been in the fandom that long. I joined here in, like, May of 2017, which was about a month after Chapter 2 originally released. So there's actually stuff I missed. But that's not one of them. I remember that pretty well. At least I'd like to think I do. But should I go to Gwen? Is it time for Gwen? I want to talk about Gwen. Man. So, I'm going to start this with an anecdote. This character gives me so much trouble. That is totally valid, Hat. There is so much in this franchise to keep track of. There's stuff I don't even remember. Yeah, so, Gwen. First of all, because Bendy and Nightmare Run came out before Chapter 5, originally, we're going to back it up and we're going to talk about Crawl. When I first saw Crawl as an enemy, I thought that Crawl was what the Searchers were intended to be. And like, okay, so we have Crawl, and he moves around like a Searcher, you know, he has a big mouth, much like Searchers do, and he crawls. So my thought was, okay, so that's our common enemy type in Batum. That's fine. So there are two other enemies in Bendy and Nightmare Run. There's Stickle, who is a spider. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Okay, a quick detour. A spidery rival with lots of legs. The kind Bendy fears might have laid eggs. By the way, he never lays eggs in game. There's nothing related to that anywhere. I wonder if that's gonna come back. Because my suspicion when this happened was we hadn't gotten Chapter 5 yet. I thought we were going to get 2 new enemy types, and it was going to be a Searcher version of, a Searcher equivalent of Stickle and Gwen. And the reason that I was really concerned about that was because the combat in the game was not conducive to flying enemies. I was horrified by the idea of having to use those controls with Henry and an axe to kill this thing. Okay? I'm really glad it didn't happen. But I was haunted by the idea that it might happen. And I was very pleasantly surprised and kind of disappointed that I was wrong. The thing is, Gwen still leaves a mystery. Much like Charlie, Barley, and Edgar, she's the odd one out. One, she's the only girl. Well, assumed girl. I mean, Gwen is a girl's name, but I guess she doesn't have to be a girl. I've always seen her as a girl. She could be a guy. She could be one of the dudes. But you've got Crawl, who's pretty neutral and a weird name. Stickle, that's pretty neutral and a weird name. And then Gwen, which is a very in stark contrast human name. And it's not the only time we see Gwen in this franchise. In fact, in Chapter 4 is the other place. It's not Gwen, but it's Gwendolyn. And I can never remember which of the portraits she is, but in the ballroom where you fight Brute Boris, we have these 4 portraits on the wall. And now the ballroom has 2 very prominent references. It references the Haunted Mansion at Disney World, with, the messed up portraits and, the aesthetic and everything. But it's also, the chandelier and everything are very reminiscent of Phantom of the Opera, or so I'm told. With that being said, one of the names on the wall is Gwendolyn, and I can never remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure she's the one with the squid on her head, eating away at her. And I'm pretty sure the other one, the one with the eye on the plate, is Daisy. Now, before we got official confirmation about Betty's name being Betty, I was suspecting that she was going to be related to Daisy. Because, as you may remember, recently with everything that's been... Not the bits and pieces folder, that's not the one I want. When it comes to our character bios, we recently had this guy, Porter. And Porter is another one of the portrait names. Porter is specifically the portrait that has a cannonball going through his stomach, which is very much so a strong reference to the Haunted Mansion. So, the question that I'm asking is, one, is this guy going to get hit with a cannonball? I feel like, the whole, what is it? So, what's the word? Yeah. Yeah, no, he just seems like he's gonna end up as a clumsy character and get hurt. I can't explain it, but something about it, I feel like they are gonna hurt Porter. I will be upset about it, and that's okay. But it's just, it makes me curious if we're gonna see the other 3 portrait names show up. Oh god, do we really have to start on the demon follower image? I did say in the description that I would bring it up, because that is a very fair content warning, and I know that the image makes some people uncomfortable. Here's your warning. We're gonna put it up so we can look at it real quick. We'll get back to Gwen in a minute. Actually, wait, is it in this one? No, it's not in this one. It is... It's on the website. There, no, yeah, here it is. Yeah. I am willing to believe that this could be Porter, and that our introduction to him in this game is we go and pull the pipe out of his side, and then he's like, thank you for getting me down from there. But I'd actually like to look at his feet real quick. Not because I'm weird or anything, but because, like, do they line up? Do they line up? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Some people have been pointing to Porter's feet as being weird. I could be... No. But do they line up? Sorry, I'm trying so hard to make it work. Yeah, no. I mean... Yeah! That's his foot! The feet match. Well, I'll be dipped. I'm gonna be not surprised. Yeah. Yeah, Beth, that's exactly it. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like Porter is gonna end up as our Boris equivalent in this game. 'Cause, like, looking at this image... Wait, what is this right here? Oh, that's impaling his ankle. Okay. Okay. Wow, he is actually nailed in there. I didn't realize. Yeah, okay. Wow. I am so sorry. Damn, they really had to do this image. What is this over his head? Is that a sack or a bucket? I can't tell. Do I really want to know? Okay. Image is gone. You were free to look. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, he's freaking crucified. Oh my god. This guy, I forget how dark this series actually is sometimes. But looking at him, let's look for some wounds real quick. Steel construction rods. Steel. The very geometric sack or a very wiggly bucket. The bucket's melting. Actually, it would be... Oh my gosh. Wait, guys. Guys, I feel like it is Porter. If I can stop going all over the place. Hello, Cole Huff? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, or if it's CO13 Huff. But hello, welcome. Welcome to our theory stream. So yeah, no. Look at where the rope covers on him. It covers the area where there would be a wound from the pipe. Oh my gosh. Hi, Nightmare. Good to see you. Wow, we're getting people I don't know in the stream. That's kind of awesome. No, so like, that's a really interesting thing. It's covering where he would have had a wound from that. I think Porter is that guy. I think we save him and get him off the wall. Oh god. I don't know if I hope I'm right or not. But yeah. That's where I think that's going. Everybody's like, oh, it's Sammy, but I'm like, they stole his pants and what was left of his dignity. How rude. Man, Betty. I love Betty so much. Man. Just the mask, the hair, the body. I feel like she's an Alice. I'll get back to that in a bit, though. Because, as promised, who is messaging me? Do I really want to know who's messaging me? It could be anybody at this point. Let's go back to Gwen, real quick. Just, the thing about Gwen is that she has a fellow portrait in the name of Gwendolyn. And now, here's... You were crucified because you were clumsy. God, fiddle, please. Man. No, I am not simping. Excuse you. Oh, that's okay. It's still wonderful to have you here, Nightmare. Thank you for joining us. Oh, it's all good. Thanks, Combat. Yeah, no. So Gwen here... Betty confuses me, too. Man, I don't think she's gonna be a twist villain, though. I don't know if you can hear my neighbor's dogs in the background, but Stella, Luna, shush. It's nighttime. Sleepy time. For doggy. For you. Nap nap. Yeah, so, Gwen. Oh my gosh. Really? Mochi, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Bendy and Nightmare Run is not a super well documented game. And I'm actually going to say something else to you about Bendy and Nightmare Run. There's actually something that I want you to notice in these screenshots here. Actually, wait, is it in them? Yes, it is. You see this hand right here? We're just going to click on board. The hand up here. So you can tap on this hand and it'll either be open or closed. And, ooh, yes. Haha, we love a good spreadsheet. Yo, excellent. The hand, we don't know what it does. You can tap it and it'll open or close, but we don't know what it's tied to. And it's really annoying. We never figured this out. And the devs were super secretive about it. I still log on to it to get my bacon soup every day. I've had like at least a year-long streak on it, and then I lost it because I forgot one day. But yeah. Just, man. You see it's open in all of these. Where is it? Why is it not... Why did you not close it? Also, what is this C here? What? Who's the screenshot from? Oh my gosh. Maybe it's for a scrapped feature. I'm thinking that's the case, but we were trying to figure out for so long. Yeah, no, that's probably what happened. You guys are probably right on that. But it's just... Bendy and Nightmare Run leaves me with so many questions about this franchise and where it fits in. I'm going to give you guys a theory that, you know, I don't think is actually going to come true. But the thing about Bendy and Nightmare Run is it started with, the same thing with, Joey gives to Henry, like, there's something I need to show you, or come down to the old workshop, there's something I need to show you, but it's not ever addressed to Henry. Yeah, it's so cute, right? All of Alice's outfits are great. I love her so much. Man, it starts out with that whole thing, and then it goes into the game's tutorial, and it's always made me wonder, what is Bendy and Nightmare Run intended to be? Is it just a spin-off, or is it something that exists within the universe? I personally think that this would work really interestingly if you tried to spin Nightmare Run as, like, an attraction at Bendyland. Because this fits in so well. If you're trying to make, living cartoons, mostly for the sake of Bendyland, so that these characters are meetable and, you can have fans interact with them, wouldn't it make sense to have some sort of interactive attraction for them to partake in, or for fans to partake in? That would be really cool. And I feel like essentially creating Temple Run, but in Bendyland, would be a really interesting way to go about it. Like, I know, because each of the way that the things are, the ways that the things are formatted in this game, it treats each, it calls each different version of, each different boss an episode, and then it has 4 acts and then nightmare mode, where you're just running endlessly. And it leaves me to wonder, it leaves me to wonder if, what could this be in the Bendy world? Is it an episode? Because it feels redundant to have a bunch of episodes with interchangeable characters where, like, that's the other thing about this. This game is also what gave us Alice's description, and I'm actually going to load up the game on my phone and read this to you, because I don't have a good screenshot of it, and obviously we've been chugging the whole time. Let's see. Each of the characters have a different description once you have them to play as. Oh, hey, I put Alice in the librarian suit last. Alice's description reads as such. Sent from above, Alice Angel is a singing, dancing cartoon sensation who brings a little light into everything she touches, often upsetting those who prefer the dark. This is my thing. All of these enemies have a motivation for wanting to get rid of Bendy. But what's the motivation for Boris and Alice? Boris's description reads, Boris is a simple-minded cartoon wolf with usually only one thing on his mind: food. He can be a faithful friend, but only if his next meal doesn't get in the way. Also, I should let you know he's in the fancy outfit, because I said so. Let's see. For Bendy, it reads, the star and creation of Joey Drew Studios, Bendy is a fun-loving yet helplessly mischievous cartoon character with a big grin and a huge desire for trouble. Also, I have him in the gangster outfit. I forgot about that. Guilty by association. You say that as a joke, but that's honestly not far-fetched. It's just, I get the sense that Alice is disliked within this context because she's out there trying to maybe being forceful. I don't know. But it's like, I feel like my tongue is getting tied here. I feel like Alice's thing is she's getting into trouble because she's trying to bring light to these characters in ways that they don't want. Like, not necessarily like the evangelical sense, but maybe she's messing with things that she's not supposed to, which feels very much so like an Allison thing. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that. But that description for Alice has always kind of struck me as weird because it's so different from the other two. Alice's character bio tying to Audrey? I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind that. My girl Audrey, you would be great. I love you very much. Man, she's trying to be helpful, but it's not her fault they won't accept the help. Listen, it is absolutely her fault though they won't accept the help. Man. Honestly, Audrey and Alice and Allison all have these light-related things going on, and it's kind of nuts. I love it. Let me see. But yeah, there's not much else for me to say on Gwen at the moment. Man, let me think. Let me think. Do we want to talk about Betty? I think it's time to talk about Betty. If okay, we're gonna close Gwen. I love you, dear. I guess last thought on Gwen. I really hope that she, like, some reference to Gwendolyn shows up in Bendy and Nightmare Run. Like, if we want to have, like, the manifestation prayer circle here, really hoping we get some more information on either, you know, the Bendy and Nightmare Run enemies or on the portraits, because I really want to know what the deal is with Gwendolyn, Daisy, and Albert, because the other one is named Albert. And he's like the skeleton man. Honestly, he's the one that looks the most like he could be a lost one, and I'm really curious about that. Let me see. So let me go back to character bios. I don't know why I have her in here twice. Sorry, Betty. So let's talk about Betty once she loads. Please. Thank you. Okay. Yay or nay to a twisted vampire-like lady? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, admittedly, I saw this manicure and I was like, hey, Lady D, how you doing? I mean, you know, oh god, if she's really tall too, that would kill me. So, vampire lady. Oh wait, are we talking about vampire lady for like Gwendolyn or Gwen? That would be awesome too. I'd be into that. Yeah. So she wears a mask and she has this very fake hair. But if I look at her body, it's really interesting because she's got Alice's black sleeves. She's got a bow tie, not in the same area because Alice's would be right atop the boob, but hers is around her neck, which is interesting. Oh my gosh. Listen, I am totally down for vampires anywhere in this series. I mean, that would be horrible to face against, but we're into it. We've got her hands here, which are strangely realistic compared to the rest of her. I just feel like she may have been an Alice Angel attempt, given what her design here looks like. And also her hands are white, or at least, you know, sepia, so it's like not gloves, but, you know. I feel like she wears a mask and wig to hide the fact that she's an Alice. And that she's hiding it because there's clearly a disdain for angels in this studio. Like, that would make so much sense. You know, because we have that sign in the Lost Ones hideout in chapter 4. Yes, chapter 4. Where it's like, no angels allowed. And it's like, they're clearly scared of angels, and they attack Allison in the Lost Ones harbor. But, you know, and that it's debatable if that's because of Sammy, or if that's because of Henry, or if that's because Allison showed up and we don't like her. We don't know which one it is that provoked them. It could be all of the above. I don't know. But they clearly have a disdain for both Twisted Alice and Allison. So if you're an angel in this world, I would really love to see it continued here, that she's hiding her identity as an Alice because there's a disdain for them, and also because I feel like Malice would try and get rid of anybody who's another angel because I am the one and only Alice Angel, you know, that whole thing. It's really interesting. I was not expecting to see Twisted Alice return in this game, just because I just didn't think she would. There were so many fans who were so negative about her, that I just did not see it coming. But I love that she's back. I love that she has the Tommy gun. It's great. She's wonderful. My queen, you return. And actually pulling this back up, Audrey. Hey, buddy. She was the 4th. Yeah, gosh, I don't know what to make of this. I feel like this is similar vein as Jack, though. Okay, we skipped it. Where the heck is it? Oh, we got the Ink Demon, possibly. It's somewhere in this section. Let me just let it chug. Okay. There we go. Hey, babe. It's good to see you again. And yeah, we do seem to have something Ink Demon adjacent over here. Don't know what that is. Might be the Ink Demon. Snake oil sales lady Alice. Oh my god. I'm so happy to see her again. I missed her so much. Like gosh. I know that you're over here focused on the Ink Demon combat, but I'm focused on the lantern. Like it's like a street lamp. Is this gonna be like near that area with like the kingpins and the car? I'm curious. Like a sewer nearby? I don't know. I don't know. I'm really curious if this is going to be a boss battle, if she's going to be helping us accidentally or purposely. I don't know. God. Yeah, she does. Honestly, I really liked her look in the original game. I love her so much. She's always been like this really gorgeous character design. My only qualm is... Oh my god. Look at that cutie. Oh, bah! The cutie's back and eat! She's so pretty. She's always been pretty. You know what would make her look better, though? If she had her apron. I want her to have her apron. Please, Meatly, give her back the apron from her concept art. It was so good. Listen, she should have the saunter. Let her saunter around. Oh my god. Bendy should crawl like an alien, like the alien. Oh my god. Well, speaking of which, not to hop around too much again, but you want to talk about this? Where is he? I did grab some of the illustrated things from the Twitter page. Yeah, so oh my god. Listen. Baby. It's really interesting to me that they chose space as the theme of the Halloween illustration this year, because that to me indicates space race, and that to me indicates some time period things. And I kind of like it. When was the space race again? Help me out here. Was that the 60s? I'm so bad with actual real world history. Bendy and the Ink Machine is the only reason I have to really care about it. Outside of, like, you know, having to know that things happened, like, wanting to know when things happened. This franchise motivates me to learn. Yeah, thank you, Beth. Yeah, so late 50s to mid 60s, space race. I feel like that's really interesting to put here. Oh, between the 60s and 70s? Yeah, like, there also is the Moon comic, but this doesn't seem to have any relation to that. Liquefies his legs. Oh my god. That's great. Also, while we're here and talking about illustrations. Hi, how are you? If he really has teeth, I'm gonna lose it. I mean, he also has the incorrect number of fingers. Well, actually, wait, does he? I'd need to brighten this up, and I'm not willing to do that right now, but man. Sammy Lawrence, I love you so much. I can't wait to see how this guy comes back. Listen. The Ink Demon said, okay, I'll give you a mouth, but you won't be able to resemble the most perfect form you know. No! Okay, I'll take it, my lord. Just this once. As long as you free me from this inky, dark abyss I call a body. Yeah. All right. That's not how they would sound, but whatever. Just, man, I think about this image a regular amount. Oh, God. Man. As a treat, my lord. I love Sammy so much. There's actually something I've been debating sharing on this stream, and I don't necessarily know if it's my best plan to. Let me I just want to see where we are here. Man, Oh, we've been at this for a while. 2.5 hours. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh man. I still have a little more fire in me, but not for too much longer, I think. Let's just... Eat a Snickers, my lord. You're not yourself when you are hungry. I don't know what I did, but you got a mouth now. That's gotta be good, right? God. I'd actually like to voice Bendy in something one day. That would be fun. But no one ever gives me the opportunity. No one's ever asked, Kat, why are you sorry? If I didn't want to listen to you talk, why would we be here? That's a fair point. That is a fair point. Thank you, guys. We haven't even gone over this stuff yet. Like, God. So I'm loving the stuff that's been coming out day by day with this. I love that you just have this casual lost one walking into work. Oh shoot. I didn't notice this Charlie before. Hello, Charlie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, so we got Charlie. We got Edgar. I'm assuming Barley's gonna be on that side. What does this say? HR? Studio? Oh, it probably says studio. Yeah. No, that says studio. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I can't do a ton of fan work for money anyway. There's legal problems with that. Are those music notes next to the Charlie banner? That's a good question. I'm not seeing music notes. No. I'm not seeing them next to Edgar either. Interesting. I'm really glad that we finally have a Boris cutout. That's been to the left? To the left. Oh, you're right. That's a rainbow. That's a rainbow with music notes on it. Hold on. HR didn't do their job very well. No, excuse you. You be nice to Miss Rodriguez. I have words. Yeah. No, that's a music staff going out of a cloud. What is this? What is this? I'm actually really curious about this detail up here. Does this look familiar to you guys? Because it kind of reminds me a little bit of the ceiling of the caverns with chapter 5 when we first meet Allison and Tom and, you know, are exploring back there. I mean, I know it's a vent system of some kind, but... Oh yeah, no, that could be tied to Siren Serenade. You're right on that. Also, I love that we just have grass. Just grass. Also, I want to loot this suitcase. Oh my god. Betty as Miss Rodriguez would honestly be great. I'd love that so much. Yeah, wow. HR needs a pay raise and some alcohol. Mood. I love that we just have this random gear here. I love that we have the upgrade system here for the gent pipe. That's kind of cool. Okay. You're sorry, but who is Ms. Rodriguez? Great question. Miss Rodriguez is a book character that only gets mentioned once. So we get her in The Illusion of Living. Let me actually see if I can find where she is. Because we don't actually meet her. We hear Joey talk about her. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I could talk about the Bendy Land plans. I could. I can't find it. But Miss Rodriguez is the name of Joey's secretary, actually. And it's a really interesting. Yeah. Oh, she is. Oh my gosh. Wait. So she's still the secretary in DCTL. That's really interesting. Thank you. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, so Miss Rodriguez is Joey's secretary, and she's the grumpy lady at the start that Buddy meets when going right into the studio, right? Yeah, so she's a recurring character, and we got a name for her, and that's cool. So yeah, no, I'll put that on the list for Betty. I think that she could be a Betty. Yeah. Yeah. Your girl. Honestly, I am somebody who is really smitten with the idea of Joey having a secretary and it being Linda. So there is a part of me that holds out hope for that. Like Linda Rodriguez. That'd be kind of cool. Then becoming Linda Stein. Also cool. Yeah, no, actually, really cool thing we get in the employee handbook. So, in case you guys aren't familiar, the Bendy employee handbook is kind of a glorified game guide, with a couple of lore pieces. Like, it gives us a really interesting at the beginning where we have some notes from Henry that leave me with a lot of questions. But we also have we have a timeline of the cartoons in here. We have the bacon soup recipe, which is also released as a part, was also released online for free at one point. We have a couple of news articles that lead us into things. We have the lyrics to the Alice Angel song, which is really the big thing I wanted out of this. No, it's not, but it's one of those things. We have a couple things about Gent. We have the date that Tom and Allison got married. We have a couple of things in accounting and finance that are cool. None of this is, like, necessary for understanding of the game lore, I think, but I think it does enhance the world quite a bit. And one of the things that's really cool at the very end of the book is after we get through everything... Oh, also it mentions the scythe, the secret scythe. That's pretty cool. Once we get to the very end, past the archives... I'm flipping through it right now, I'm sorry. We get the organizational charts for how the departments are set up. So we can see the number of employees, or at least the number of roles that we had in here. And we also get some brief descriptions of some of the employees, which is really cool. There are a lot of really interesting things about this that I love so much. Yeah, no, we get it for music, finance, we get it for special projects. Also, it's really funny to me that Bertram is not mentioned at all in special projects, even though he should be. They mentioned Lacey before they mentioned Bertram, and I love Lacey. She's amazing, but Bertram is not mentioned anywhere in here, and that's his department. We also get a brief thing about Wally and... Gosh. Wally went to Mexico and apparently had a bad run-in with something he thought was churros, but they weren't churros. That's a detail. Yeah. I want to say this is also the book that told us about Employee of the Month always being Joey. Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually have to read this to you. This is great. This is under the Employees Rewards section. Yeah. No, he is mentioned in the handbook, but he's just not mentioned anywhere within the hierarchy of the Special Projects Department. That's funny. Okay, for Employee of the Month. This is a new initiative that will be starting soon. Employee of the Month. How it works is simple. Joey Drew was the first employee, so he'll be the first Employee of the Month. If anyone is better than him, they get to be Employee of the Month. So far, no one's usurped Joey. But maybe that will change with you. I had forgotten about this. This makes Audrey being Employee of the Month really interesting. Darn it, I feel like the people... Joey knowing Audrey in some capacity is more plausible with that. Darn it. Ah. Yeah. Audrey usurped Joey! I totally forgot about that detail. This is why I brought the books out. I figured I might come back to them. Yeah. Miss Rodriguez really doesn't have that big of a role, but she puts up with Joey's BS, so I feel like she should have a role. Betty Rodriguez. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Yeah, no, the Sammy scene in The Illusion of Living was really good. Oh my gosh. Henry, how could you? Dude, I didn't expect that she'd say yes to the date. She's my secretary! Okay, that's a little bit Eggman-y. What? Bertie made his choices and actions have consequences. Joey, you're the one who gave him a nickname he didn't want and was rude about it. Meh. Gosh. Yeah, true. I feel like Audrey being employee of the month is either a sign that Joey really liked her, or that Archgate is very different from Joey Drew Studios in a lot of ways. That's such an interesting detail. I'd forgotten about that. That's really funny. Yeah. Yeah, hey, Combat, you should run that by Neil and be like, "Hey, can we have an arc where like the gods enable Miss Rodriguez to make Joey's life heck?" That'd be great. Okay. Actually not going to focus on this screenshot. The question is how different. I don't know. I don't know how different it's going to be. Yeah. So, I want to talk about the pit. When I first saw this, and when a bunch of my friends in the Bendy sphere saw this as well, we were all really, really concerned. What are these? Look like churros. No, they don't. Some sort of piping system, maybe? Wait, what are you? I never noticed. You have writing on you. I can't read it. Does that say Sammy? I can't read what that says. Hang on, let me turn off my light real quick so there's less of a glare. Yeah, that's not helping me. But I will keep the light off. Huh. Deep 6. Level badge required beyond this point. Oh my gosh. Yes, that'd be cute. That'd be a great parallel to have Linda in the writing department. Okay, security lock. Research wing top level badge is required, and it's called the Pit. Please have your identification ready for Gent. This is the thing that got the fandom talking. You have 2 items related to Henry and 1 related to Sammy. A lot of people are suspecting that with Bendy and the Dark Revival, there's going to be 2 factions of people. Those who follow Wilson and those who follow the Ink Demon. And Henry's going to be caught somewhere in that. Honestly, I don't know what this is going to be like. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be factions, because everybody was like, oh, it's going to be, the Ink Demon versus Alice Angel when Chapter 3 hit. And it's just like, that's really not what ended up happening. And so I don't think it's going to happen here either, just per patterns. Joey's not a name for you. He kisses everyone. Listen, in Monster of the Week, he absolutely does. I'm really curious if we're going to be able to steal the seeing tool from here. I'd really like it if we could do that. That'd be great. Henry is hiding in the do not knock room with his roommate Sammy as they try to avoid everyone and Wilson, who is such a weird fanboy. I don't know if I called Wilson a fanboy, but yeah. I mean, there actually is somebody in my life, the great Giant Dark, who has theorized that, Wilson could be Henry unhinged. And I actually like that theory a lot. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I do feel like Henry's going to show up somewhere. I don't know if we'll see him necessarily, though. Don't come in, we're trying to stay sane. Like going back to this image, I'm really curious who this belongs to. I feel like it could be Sammy. I feel like it could be Wally. I feel like it could be Tom. It could be Henry. Well, that's the thing about Henry, right? So, who wants to get into book lore for a second? Honestly, man. So, one of the things that the books give us, in the Lost Ones, we are introduced to the idea of ink enhancing certain emotions, particularly negative traits about people, but I don't think it has to be negative traits. It could be positive ones, we don't know. But the ink, is kind of feeding off of negativity in some way. And it's we see it in the Lost Ones, we see it with the characters Bill, Constance, and Brant. With Bill, his sense of fear is heightened. So he's suddenly really afraid of everything once he touches the ink. When Constance touches it, she gets really angry and can't hide her anger anymore. And then with Brant, he's ashamed of everything. He was someone who was very prideful, and then he goes to being very ashamed. And the thing about it is that we've never seen the ink behave in this way in any other piece of media. Combat, you are more than welcome to share that. Please do. Because we tackle that there, it's really interesting. Like, the ink seems to reveal the things that you hide from people, which is really interesting when you consider the golden ink, which is a completely different beast. I suspect that, I don't know if the ink that we see in the studio and the ink that, like, okay, I don't know if the ink we see in Dreams Come to Life and the ink that we see in The Lost Ones happens to be the same, or if it's different. It could be two different types of ink. It could be ink having evolved a certain way. It could be a trait that the ink keeps later. It could be a trait that it loses. But it's really interesting to speculate on the characters, losing, what is it? The characters being forced to have some of their walls broken, because the other character that we see that might be affected by this in The Lost Ones is Tom. We get a couple of segments where he's the one telling the story, and it's really, really cool. There's this one line of his that really sticks out to me, and maybe with all my bookmarking, I actually have it bookmarked. We'll see. Let's see. I love this line so much. I know what we did. I know what we made. But it's also an invention unlike anything before it. You can't just abandon something like that. Not when you were so close. You don't abandon a kid because they break a few glasses, because they cry out and smack you across the face by accident. A kid needs help to grow. You don't abandon your child. It's not just a machine. It's a miracle. You don't abandon a miracle, even if it scares you, even if it kills you. I am so emotional about Thomas Connor in The Lost Ones, and I think it's worth it to read The Lost Ones for Thomas Connor, even if his sections are few and far between. He's so good. Okay, now we're going to focus on Combat's thing. Okay, in DCTL, it's corrosive. It consumes people, like it consumes Sammy, like it consumes the people he kills. The ink in The Lost Ones doesn't do this, but it does bring out personality traits. The ink in The Lost Ones provides stability, but it can't bring the soul. The ink in DCTL is what is needed for the ink to claim the souls. The TLO ink is needed for the tunes. Ink Bendy is made of this, and it's why he has a body and form, but no soul. Yeah, no, I like your theory a lot. I've heard you talk about it before, but I don't think everyone on the stream has, so I'm glad they're getting to hear it now. This didn't work to make a perfect Bendy, which is why Joey stopped using it for a bit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're welcome. Oh my gosh. Bernie, I'm going to tell you right now, The Lost Ones brings a lot of confusion to the lore of this world, and there are some things in it that I think could have been handled a little bit better, mostly how the characters get to the machine in the first place. But I really like this book. It remains one of my favorites in the entire series, and I really want these characters to come back. I really need to reread it, because it was just such a trip, and I had such a great experience going through it the first time. Sammy got a hold of it somehow, which is why his personality drifted, but also why he is not a lost one. Yeah, I feel like there has to be something different about Sammy's ink process compared to the others. Okay. When the DCTL ink consumed him, the TLO ink let him keep a more solid form while also making him lose his mind. Yeah, it makes you wonder, what's the trait that Sammy's hiding from the world? Malice was made of both, but the balance wasn't perfect. Yeah, I could roll with that. I could absolutely roll with that. I think... Man. Yeah, honestly, the second time through she had a better mixture. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Honestly, I still hold on to the idea of Malice in particular was... Like, I don't know what ink she's made of, but I feel like she was never a perfect Alice. Like, this is just me, personally. Sammy's so spiteful, the ink demon consumed him, and he was like, oh crap, we don't want this taken back. Beth, no! Oh my god. Sammy's not hiding his spite. The Think ink is the TLO ink. I would believe it. I would believe it, but would that mean the searchers are made out of it? Oh my god. Wait, who is pinging me? Oh my god. I will look at that later. Oh, there's a Nutcracker meme. If I weren't so consumed with Bendy stuff, I would be participating in Nutcracker content right now, because it's Nutcracker month, and that's my other big fandom thing at this time. Also, Sonic Frontiers is out. I'm really excited about that, but I need to get back to watching the Adrenaline Dub stream of it at some point, because that was fun to be on the other day. Excuse me. He advertises his spite to the world to cover up something else. Honestly, mood. Oh my gosh, Kitty, hi! I didn't think you were gonna make it. It's good to see you. Yeah, well, Susie was replaced for a reason. Yeah, okay. Personally, with Susie, I subscribe to the idea that she was too good theory. So like, I believe this one is credited to Shazba, also known as Ink Demon Apologist, and I could be totally wrong on this. Shaz, I don't think you're here, but if you are, please correct me. I believe she theorized that Alice, what is the word? What are the words I'm looking for? That Susie was really good at being Alice, and Alice started surging in popularity above Bendy, and Joey got jealous of this, and that's part of why he got rid of her, because because Alice was just doing so much better than Bendy. He was like, I will not have my OC be outdone, excuse you. And it's just, I love it. It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, he's extremely weak-willed when it comes down to it. Oh my gosh. He can't give an inch or else he'll give all the way. Wow, that would actually fit really well. Combat, I like that a lot. Oh my gosh. Bernie, you're too kind. Joey being an ass and not controlling his jealousy? I'm shocked. So shocked. To the surprise of absolutely no one, Joey is a piece of garbage. Man. We all know what happened to Betty Boop and Bimbo the dog. Yeah, pretty much. Which is why he feels abandoned. He is so utterly hopeless. He's without guidance. What is he supposed to do? So the ink makes him dependent. Oh, I like that a lot. He had anger, but it was also despair. Oh. Sammy, you pathetic, wet cardboard man. I love you so much. Get over here. You need a hug. And some coffee. I love this. I love this buffoon so much. He's my buffoon. Y'all get your own. Oh, Kitty. I should probably tell you. You missed Jorts and Genry. Oh. It's all good. Take care, Kitty. Enjoy. We love you. Yeah, no. I'll tell you about the booty shorts later. Fiddle? I know that you're an hour behind me, but that means it's almost 9:30 where you are and you're drinking coffee. Fiddle, do I need to come over there? If it were Devil, maybe I could trust this, but no, you're Fiddle. I'm gonna steal your nose. No, wait, I'm not gonna steal your nose. I'm gonna steal your son. I'm gonna steal Boris. I'm gonna take him to Disney World without you. Guys, we can't gang up on Fiddle. Only I get to make fun of Fiddle. Gosh. Okay, Kitty, bye. We love you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Fiddle, I'm seriously stealing your wolf. Get out of here. Put that coffee away. Actually, wait, no. We don't want the coffee to go to waste. Dizzy D, wait, is that Dizzy? Is it the Dizzy I know? Oh my gosh. Hi, Dizzy. Good to see you. You can have Boris our coffee nut, but I'm here briefly. Hey, it's all good. We've been going for a while. I did not expect anyone new to show up, but still, it's great to see you. All right. So we've gone over ink theory. It is Dizzy from Discord. Hello. I'm assuming Victor from earlier was also Victor from Discord, but I can't be sure. So, want to talk about donuts? So Audrey has a donut. How'd we get donuts in Ink Hell? I want to know. I know it's not going to happen, but I really want to see Sammy eat a donut, okay? I really want, like, Audrey to have her donut on her when she ends up in Ink Hell, and she has it all throughout the game, and then she pulls it out at some point, almost gets sacrificed by Sammy, and then he spares her because she has a donut, and he would really like to eat the donut to have some semblance of his humanity. We have a friend who did an audio skit of this, and it was like the best thing ever. I cannot show it because I don't have permission to, but man, I love it as audio so much. Sammy deserves a donut and to be our ally, I think, personally. I want to work with Sammy. Please let me work with Sammy, please. Audrey's donut is corrupted. Honestly, there are 3 donuts here. Man, and one of them has a bite out of it. Wonder who did that. Give the man chocolate, he's earned it. Yeah, I mean, he said it himself in the Hot Topic Takeover. You'd have to be crazy not to love chocolate cake. Let me see. It's easier to explain to the delivery guy why there's a big order of food. God. It's just Sammy canonically loving chocolate makes me so happy. Chocolate gives bad vibes in the Bendy world. I mean, yeah. No, you're absolutely right there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the mugs do look grody. We'll put ink in the mugs. Sammy, was it you? Actually, what's this up here? I can't see it super well, but what is that? Huh. Oh, we got more of those steel rods from earlier. Oh, joy. There's also, like, banners around here. Dunks a donut in ink. Oh, my God. Wait, are these books? These are meant to be books or binders or something. I wonder if this is in the finance area. Like, that would be interesting. I haven't looked at these screenshots in a while, so I've forgotten what's in here. Actually, wait. Okay, that doesn't say anything. That's just a cool design. But cool phonograph. I'm really happy to see that. I also love that we have this gigantic chair. It's not quite the same as Joey's office chair, but boy, would it be cool if it were. Also, we have just this ominous switch, which, wait a second. Hang on. I feel like there's something missing from this image. Okay. Do you guys remember a long time ago when we had clean cup, move down, move down? What? Oh my gosh. Dunks the donut in ink. I'm still losing it over that on the inside. That's great. So, do you guys remember when we had the electric chair teaser? I would need to go and find it. Oh my god. Yo. Okay, but what if that did open the pit? That'd be cool. I feel like I need to look at the design of the electric chair again, but I wonder if it matches these chairs in any capacity, and then that maybe there's the electric chair at the very end here, and so that you're face to face with whoever's there, and the switch is for that. I don't know. I feel like that would fit really well within this sequence, but I could be totally wrong. I'm prepared to be wrong. I'm prepared to be completely wrong about everything. I mean, I'm expecting this next game to take place in 1972 because we know that, you know, Joey's dead by that point and Nathan is working on preserving things at that point. And there's a lot that you can do with that. Well, the chair is for Wilson. Wilson invited us to a little soiree. Gosh, I missed that video. I wish it hadn't been taken down. Yeah. Oh, gee. Got baby benders. Yeah, so we have the dream supply, which looks like an ink vending machine. I think Nathan's preserving things as a cover up. Like, we know that he is actively doing work to preserve Bendy's legacy and therefore Joey's legacy. We know that at one point in time, he and Joey were friends. I don't know if they still consider each other friends, especially because of the first instance we have of Nathan in this franchise. I'll get to that in a minute. But the tone that I get from The Illusion of Living and from the Crack Up comics is that Nathan is doing this as a cover up. Like, he didn't actually like Joey, but he knew something about his proprietary technology. So he's now gotten a hold of everything else of Joey's, and he's using that to cover up the fact that he's secretly working on things with the ink machine in the background. Because he wants to know something about it. There's something about it that it would be beneficial to him. And I'm really curious as to what that's going to be, what his goals are, because he makes it really clear that he's not really all that interested in cartoons. So it's like, why would you use a machine used to make living cartoons? Like, what use do you have for that? Is that like a thing about achieving immortality? Is that a thing about becoming God? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm curious to find out what it is. What Nathan's motivation is intrigues me. The other thing is, the very first mention we have of Nathan is about him and his wife in a secret audio log in Boris and the Dark Survival. So there is a section of Boris and the Dark Survival where I forget which DLC pack it's in, but in one of them, if you go and there's a mini game where you have to obviously he's preserving his boyfriend's legacy. Oh my god. Man. So gosh, what are words? So there's a mini game that Wally has a high score on, and it's specifically mentioned that it's Wally's high score, which leads to a lot of questions. That's why I think Wally could have existed in the safe house at some point, but I don't know if he exists there now. Same with Buddy. But in that thing, if you beat Wally's score, you get access to a secret audio log of Joey Drew, and he's talking about, and it's of him making a call to Nathan while he's on vacation, trying to get a hold of him, trying to get him to loan him money for something in the studio, and Nathan seems to know that he's desperate. I mean, we don't hear anything from Nathan, but it feels like it's not the first time Joey's asked. I really love this particular tape because, gosh, I really hope, like, I really get the sense with this tape that Joey's desperate. And hearing him be desperate and not all high and mighty and not all fake, seeing a real glimpse into who Joey is and seeing him scared. That's why I love that tape. I really like the implications of Joey being afraid. It's so good. Man. And Nathan taking advantage of that. Just, mwah, chef's kiss. I love it. Man. I don't think that, yeah, I really don't think that it's going to be a dead wife plotline. Like, I don't think that this is going to be related to any of Nathan's family members in any way. I feel like it's something else. Because that's just, It's just, there's no intrigue with it. I mean, you could do that with the ink machine, but there's so many other things you could do with it that'd be more interesting. And also, like, seeing what we know about ink creatures, yeah, they keep coming back, but they also end up horribly deformed and broken inside, and you really don't want that for your wife. Champy Shoe, hello. Is it just me, or is this the most exciting week of the year? It's pretty exciting. I mean, Sonic Frontiers came out. We've got, a couple more days until Bendy comes out. We've got a bunch of really great teasers that have come out that we've been excited about. There's a lot to talk about. Also, we have fun typos. Wilson clearly has a foot in the ink world, but does Nathan? We don't know. That's one of the things that I'm curious about, too. I don't know what to make of that at this point in time. Also, I love that Barley's face is on this, but I do question why Barley's face is on this. In dire straits. Card exchange. Why is Barley on it? Why is Barley on the card exchange? Also, like, is this going to be our new save system, do you think? I don't know. Also, I want to loot the thing. Henry, help. This duty's gone hetero. My gosh. Yeah, no. Shaz's doodle of this was so good. I love it. Why not have Barley's face on it? Like, I'm glad to see the butchers on stuff too. I've missed them. Yeah, we've got a lot of really great game stuff coming out right now. It's pretty great. Everyone's got to have a mascot. It's true. Gosh, going back through all this. Condemned. I have so many feelings about candle safety in this scene. This does it for me. Sammy. Only Sammy could do this. Okay? Only Sammy. Man. Yeah, they gotta get their merchandising bit. Oh, I am afraid of them too. I do feel like this is a really good place for an enemy to pop out. Actually, wait a sec. What area is this? Please have your identification ready. It's a gent area, and it's condemned since Halloween of 1952. Here's the thing. Welcome. Okay, this is a welcome desk. Okay. Oh, Miss Rodriguez! No. Eat your controller. No, Dizzy. Another entrance. Yeah, it looks very similar to the pit, right? I feel like this is another part of the pit, but I don't know. It's just, this is so interesting. Why was this area just condemned? Excuse me. Oof. Actually, wait. Guys, it's a puddle of ink under the table. That's not good. Excuse me, I'm gonna be gross for a second. Because in mortal form. It makes you wonder why there's a corpse under the sheet, though. Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't just be straight. Combat, you're really gonna make me do this, aren't you? Where there's ink, there's a stink. Oh, Bernie. Yeah. Cat is sniffly. Cat's a little under the weather. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do this stream. That's why I hesitated to give you guys a time until today. So, thank you for coming. It means a lot. Okay. Henry, help! I buried all the gays and now the studio's gone straight! This is not what I dreamed of! It's okay, pal. There. Gosh. Man. It is way too late to be doing voice acting, but we're here. And it's really not even voice acting, it's just really silly, half-butted. Gosh. Lord only knows what Joey dreamed of, yeah. Listen, I gave y'all permission to clip this stream if you read the description, which you should. So... If you want any of these silly voice clips, you are welcome to them. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ray. Man. Oh yeah, you know what Joey dreamed of? Okay. Okay, Wombat. Gosh, I am just so curious. I'm also curious how we have plants here. Like, plants were a weird thing in the first Bendy game, too. But... I'm really curious how they're going to make a reoccurrence here. Excuse you. Occasionally it's Susie kissing as well. Yeah, like, what's the deal with plants? Wait. On an island that I owned. Something and alone. I can't do that at this hour, no. You could kind of explain it as the studio degrading and seedlings getting in. Yeah, you could. Joey actually dreamed of passionately making out with Henry Stein. Oh my god. Yeah. No, I feel like they could. He made fake plants. It's interesting where they are in the infirmary in the first game. Like, I've always had questions about that. They've never been answered. Where do I want to go from here? Do I want to go here? Yeah, I guess I'll go to the Christmas illustration real quick. There's not really much to see in this one, but it does kind of have me curious. We got the Butcher Gang poster back there. They've made this little hideout for themselves, and they're celebrating Christmas. It's just Christmas time. Oh my god. I gotta pitch that one to Kitty. If you don't know my friend the Cartoon Kitty, who was here earlier, the Christmas pic is from Christmas of last year in 2021. It was released like a couple days before, I think. Yeah, no, this is a really cute image. I love it a lot, actually. I grabbed it because I felt like it would be good. So it's just like they're so cute. The cast of Gilligan's Island, but oh my god, that's great. Bernie, write a fanfic. That would be great. But yeah, it's from the official Bendy Twitter. I grabbed a bunch of stuff from there before starting this. Yeah, I'm really curious. Also, you notice there's a tree in here and unsafe candle practices, Sammy. Where was I going with this? I had a point. Wait, what is... I was gonna say, are your shoes ice skates? No, they're not. They got him a fishing pole. Oh my god, baby. What are you playing with there? Is it like a... Is it a book? Is it a hook? Is that a hook? I can't tell what that is, but it's cute. I can't tell what you got either. Wait. Yeah, no, you've always had both arms. I'm losing it. All right. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Please do, Beth. You are always welcome in my DMs. Yeah, have a good night. Sleep well. I'm going to keep going for a little bit, but not too much longer because we do have to get to bed. Yeah. Yeah, I love this image. Somebody gave us fire. They already had fire. They had a burning barrel. It's such a good image. Ah, no. Shit. I really hope that didn't get on stream. That's gonna be really embarrassing. Oh my god. This is embarrassing. I've never accidentally closed that much before. Oh man. Okay. Hi. Sorry about that. Okay, good. You can still hear me. Great. So sorry. That was incredibly embarrassing. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Man, that feeling one. Is there anything else that I have for you? Let's see. We've already gone over the weirdness here. Let's see. We have Joey's calendar. Not really much to say in the way of that. The game specs. Okay, so here, this is a weird screenshot because it has nothing to do with Bendy. This was me looking up the meaning of the name Wilson. And I looked this up mostly because a friend was proposing a theory, and I'm like, oh, that's a thought. Wilson is, typically it means like the son of Will or the son of William, but it also means desire. And it really makes me curious about what Wilson's motivations are going to be. Like, what desire is he motivated by? Or does he see himself as like, a guy who's all about will, all about fate, all about destiny? I feel like that may play into things. That's where I think Wilson is going, but I'm not sure. but that's just like based on his name. It's his name is just kind of there. He comes out of nowhere, and I really don't know what to make of him. He seems like he could be like a previous gent worker that's come back or a janitor of some sort, but that's where I think Wilson is. At least that's all that I've got for guesses on him for the time being. Also, there is something else that I just want to mention real quick. If I go back a couple folders, I know that we've seen Allison plenty of times, but I just want to point this out because we've all seen it. I think he's gonna get killed early. Oh, that'd be interesting. I feel like it's gonna be revealed that he's pretending to be the ink demon, but I don't know. Because I feel like, in some way, like, maybe that's how he's working through things with the studio. Like, maybe he turns into the ink demon. Because, like, he has to get his soul eventually, right? Cute, mute, deadly wolf. She calls him Tom. Yes, Tom is cute and you should acknowledge it. Thank you, game devs. You are correct. Tom is very cute and I can't wait to see him. Because we haven't seen any 3D models for Boris in this game. We've only seen the cutouts, and I'm depressed about this. I want to see more. Yeah. Disc 1 final boss type character. That would be cool. You're curious about how he gets from the ink to and from the ink world, or if he has a way of communicating without actually being exposed to the ink. I mean, he could totally be like, what's the word for it? It could be he may not. Like, I don't necessarily think he goes to and from the world of ink. I mean, I'm not even 100% sure that the unknown voice is Wilson. Like, there's just so many things. I think we're all assuming that because they have the same facial shape, and it seems like that's logically who it would be, but I don't know. I don't want to jump to the conclusion that it is him. I mean, I have been this entire stream, but that's not the point. I get the sense that maybe he's created a persona for himself. Like, maybe he has somebody around that's, enforcing his will within things. But I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah. It's like, we're also really confused about how Allison works in this world. Like, on the subject of Wilson. Because, okay. One of the things that I have seen proposed... So one of the things that I'm really confused about in this world is, what is the reason... Why is it that some ink creatures melt and others remain as corpses everywhere? Like, this is my number one complaint about Boris. There are so many Boris and Butcher Gang corpses everywhere. But our Boris, when he's Brute Boris, melts. Why? Why does Sammy Lawrence melt? Why does Twisted Alice not melt? It begs a lot of questions. And one of the things, and like, I think part of it is just, I've taken to the theory in the past week that people melt if Joey Drew thinks that would be more dramatic. And a friend proposed this theory, and I was absolutely like, and I don't think it was meant to be serious, but I think it was Mochi that proposed it, actually. But there was a bunch of us talking about it. And it was just, I'm like, yes, I'm so on board with this. I think I'm going to adopt that as my headcanon now. But I'm also led to believe, like, some people, back when the first game was doing a thing, wow, I am so tongue-tied. I am so sorry. Back when the first game came out, and we had Chapter 5 for the first time, one of the things that people suspected is that some ink creatures actually are the people that we connect them to, and some of them aren't. Like, everybody that we had a coffin for was somebody that was legitimately a person that died, and their soul was now in an ink creature. And like, some people connected that to the people who didn't melt, and then the ones that did melt, we connected to not having a coffin, and they were an imitation of a person because they'd fit well into the narrative, but not the actual person. And I don't know how much I agree with that, especially because that theory was made before we got Dreams Come to Life, and having seen how things went for Sammy, I don't actually know if Sammy has a coffin. Does anybody remember who the coffin names are? I don't actively recall. Yeah. There's a lot of instability with the body. It falls apart easier, so Buddy by that point wasn't fully connected to Boris. I mean, that might be it. I mean, that's assuming that Brute Boris was Buddy, but I don't think it was. Yeah. Oh my god. God's most wettest creature. Oh man. It's just Lacey Bertram Norman Grant. Thank you. I think Sean may have been there. I know that Susie has a coffin, but it's in chapter 3 and not at the beginning. I can never remember who has what, but I don't think Sammy has a coffin. And it's like, maybe that's because, I mean, it may be the exact opposite, that he doesn't have, that he has, because we know, yeah, thank you guys, you were incredibly helpful. Yeah, I don't think Sammy has a coffin, and it's because, and it might be the other thing, that Sammy didn't die. Sammy didn't die. He was consumed by the ink, and that is his body. It's been transformed. It's not the same as Buddy's, where it's like he woke up and he's Boris, and there's his dead body right next to him. Like, there's a difference. And it's like, it leads to a lot of questions about the point of the coffins. Like, what's the common denominator between all of the characters that have a coffin versus those that don't? It's one of those things that it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I want to see more expanded upon with this next game, but I don't think we're going to. Yeah, the thing about Alice is I don't believe what she's saying. Okay, when she talks about the extra thick ink, and, you know, the cogs and everything that you're collecting for her, she doesn't appear to be using it on herself. She appears to be using it to create Brute Boris. We don't have, like, solid evidence to confirm that that's everything that she's doing, and I do wish we did, because I'd love to see it, like, confirmed that we just helped her harm our friend. That would be great. I think that would add so much more weight to the narrative, and it would be awful, and I would cry, and I would maybe hate Malice. I don't hate Malice. I am in the Malice fan club, but gosh, it's just, it leaves me with a lot of questions. And I never know how to feel about it. Yeah, I'm going to give us about 9 more minutes, and then I think I'm going to call it a night. But wow, it has been one heck of a night. It would be so good. I don't think that she's a pathological liar, but I do think she's not giving us the full story or the full truth. It's just, yeah, there's a lot. Love requires sacrifice. God, love Sammy. I really want to hear him and his dialogue. I think that may be the thing that I end tonight with. I don't feel 100% comfortable showing you guys the clip, but I do have speculation about Sammy. So you remember Alice's fetch quests back in Bendy Chapter 3 and how everyone hated them? Well, her fetch quests were pretty monotonous and they could have been better. But I think we may, and we have it confirmed for this game that we're not getting fetch quests from Alice. But I do think we're getting them from another character. I think we're getting them from Sammy. And here's why. So, yours truly has thoroughly followed the various people involved with the Bendy process. And I'm going to take a sip of water before I say this because it's about to be a lot. Hydration check. Everybody hydrate. I should have said that several times before in this stream, but you know what? We remembered now, so it's fine. So, I follow basically, not everybody, but a lot of the people that I know are involved with Bendy, because, not just because I like them for the Bendy stuff, but also because I really like, what's the word for it? I really like the work that they do in other places too. Like Lauren Singer, I love the project she's in, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to hear more of her. Aaron Landon, it's the same way. Did you know that he is like the voice of one of the mascots for Cricket, the phone company? Yeah, I didn't know that either, but he is, and he does an amazing job. Also, he is in a short that corresponds with the second Sonic movie, and he's a robot that reads poetry, and that's really cool because Aaron himself also reads poetry, and he actually once read "The Raven" in Sammy's voice by Edgar Allan Poe, and it was an amazing thing, and I have it clipped because it's beautiful. Well, last year, on October 25th of 2021, Aaron happened to post something a little suspicious to his stories. Okay? So, because I follow Aaron's Instagram, because that's the only thing that he has you know, there, and just so we're clear one more time, Aaron Landon is the voice of Sammy Lawrence. He mostly posts about stuff like running and his boyfriend and his cats and the trips he takes. Oh, and he's shirtless most of the time as well. He occasionally will post clips where he's in his voice recording booth and, he's doing some voice work. And it's usually nothing that falls under NDA because, like, you gotta be careful about that when you're a voice actor. I should know. I haven't had a ton of NDAs I've had to sign, but I have had, like, I think 2 at this point. Yeah. You take those seriously and you do not break them. But there was one story that was up on October 25th where he did something that sounded like Sammy's voice to me. And I saved the clip because I've been suspicious about it for the longest time. And this is where I reveal my card to you. I'm not going to play the video unless you egg me enough, but I am going to tell you what the dialogue says. And here it is up on screen. Hopefully you guys can read that. But it's like, interesting. You don't seem to be completely talentless, but there is more to it than that. Let's see how you will do on the next challenge. Hearing him say this, I suspect that this is audio for Bendy and the Dark Revival. I don't know enough about the voice acting industry to know what the turnaround time is for game dialogue, but this sounds like a Sammy clip. This sounds like something that belongs in Bendy and the Dark Revival. And he was doing the voice. Like, how is this not him? And it was captioned with the term Halloween voices. And it's just, ugh. Man, it's so good. It leads me to believe that if Sammy appears in Dark Revival, we may have him doing fetch quest stuff with us. The other thing is, around the time that this happened, here in the fandom, Lauren Singer was running an event called Dance with the Angel, which was where she had a bunch of various TikTok people, namely cosplayers, but also artists, submitting their artwork to the tune of Lonely Angel. And she made it into this big compilation at the end. So because the word was challenged was used in that, and it was used here, and the timing was similar, I thought we were going to get a fandom event where it was Sammy doing something kind of like Dance with the Angel. But given that never happened, this is my backup. I think this is going to be in Dark Revival somewhere, and I'm really curious to hear if I'm right. So, what do you guys think? Also, it's still on Top Chat. Excuse me. I hate everything. Oh my god. He does. He does. I am so sorry. Yeah. It's just, I feel like we're gonna have to prove our worth to Sammy at some point. It's really, he does sound so good. Guys, do I have to play it? Yeah. Man, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so curious. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be what is the word for it? Yeah, I feel like it could be a thing about gaining Sammy's trust and maybe gaining him as an ally. I really want him to be our ally and then get in our way as much as possible. I think that'd be great. It's good. It's really good. So yeah, this is the thing that I'm most curious about for Bendy and the Dark Revival to find out if this clip will be in there somewhere. And if it is, yeah. Utterly Looney Tunes. Oh no. Yeah, it's just, man, it could be so good. But now you know that this exists. I am gonna say Aaron does not like interact a lot with the Bendy fandom. He is very nice to fans, but like that's not what he posts about. So I am gonna say please just be nice to him and don't harass him. I don't know if he wants this clip put back into the world. Because Instagram stories are 24 hours long for a reason, and I feel like most people expect them to go away and not be there forever. So that's the biggest reason why I haven't shown the clip. I want to be respectful of Aaron because he seems like a cool dude, and I want to be good to him because he's been good to us. Yeah. So, but that's the clip. Without showing it, so that you basically have the gist of what it does. I have shared it with friends in private circles, obviously, as the chat has indicated here. Yeah, so that's where we are. It's really interesting to me how many different directions this game could go in. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what to expect. I think the bottom line with everything with Bendy and the Dark Revival is there's a lot happening. I feel like our game is going to take place somewhere in 1972. I feel like Audrey's going to have a lot to work through. I feel like we're going to run into other clones of characters that we haven't seen before. I really feel like we're going to run into another Alice this time. Like, that's just how I feel about it. I don't know if it's going to be Betty. I don't know if it's going to be Abby. I'm really hoping it's Abby. I feel like our Toon Bendy is somehow going to get revealed to be either Joey or Henry. I'm leaning towards Joey because I feel like Joey loves this character so much that he would put his everything into this character. It's just, there's so much. There's so much to it. Also, I did want to take one last look at something before we go. Joey's desk illustrations. We haven't looked at these in a while. Wait, why is there a gent pipe here? I didn't notice that before. Hello? Were we getting hinted at the gent pipe having a larger role this whole time? Am I just dumb? No, I'm not. But it's just... yeah. There's a lot of stuff here. I feel like this one with Alice and Allison is gonna come to fruition in the next game. Just that's my suspicion. Oh yeah, it absolutely is. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, that's you with the soup. Yeah, man, Boris in a Bendy suit. Yeah. Yeah, Boris in the mascot suit. Oh my god. Guys, I forgot about this. Oh no, please tell me that's not what's gonna happen with Malice and Baby Benders. Please no. Please. Oh no. Oh no. I don't even want to think about that. No. No. Yeah. Yeah, these are fine. I also feel like this might be Henry. Just throwing that out there. I feel like we're going to see this pop up again, given we have the animation alley. The baby is playing with trains and has done no wrong. The baby might be Joey. Okay? I want the baby to be Joey so bad. The butcher's riding the whipper is so good, too. Wait. Hang on. Is that multiple Borises trying to stop the projectionist? I would really love to see that come up in the next game. I want to see the projectionist come back. He's one of the best monsters for a reason. Stop doing that. Also, this right here. The two Bendys theory has been a thing in the fandom for a long time. I really want to see things. Is he in the Family Guy death pose? I don't know. I do not know what that is. I don't think I want to know. It's just, yeah, there's so much. Yeah, Alice sitting on her throne. I love that so much. Yeah, the projectionist is one of the scariest things ever. I am fully expecting to see this. If Malice doesn't get even more messed up with cool wings, I'm gonna riot. That is a good question. I don't necessarily know if Joey would have willingly made himself into Bendy or if he was forced to be Bendy, but I feel like maybe he has glimpses but doesn't know everything. It's really hard to say. There's just so much we don't know. Whatever the case may be, I'm really glad. I am excited to see what comes next, but I really want Monster Form Alice. Ugh. She's my favorite character. I would be so weak for that. Ugh. Man. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. It is like almost 5 minutes past what I said we were going to be done. So I think this is our sign to be done. My throat hurts. I'm tired. I could probably use more to drink. Maybe some tea. If Benders were Joey, I don't see him playing with trains and just hiding out. Listen, maybe Joey secretly had a fascination with trains this whole time. I mean, listen. This is the last thing I'm going to point out, okay? No, it's not ending on Monster Malice because we are going to go back to Baby Benders one more time. I just want to point out the fact that he is playing with a train. I want to know... Yeah, can we get a Malice monster boss fight? That'd be great. Please, Meatly. Please. He's playing with a train. The only reason I can fathom why there might be a train down here is because it's merchandise for the Buddy Boris Railway. I'm just saying. Please bring back the Buddy Boris Railway. I want it back. That part of the game scared the crap out of me. Please. Please acknowledge the railway. Please let us go back. I will cry so much. So yeah, thank you all for joining me on this stream tonight. This was a really fun time. I am so glad that we got to do this together before the game came out. I didn't think I was going to get to, because I'll be honest with you, this weekend is Splatfest, aka the thing that takes up so much of my life because Splatoon becomes life when it's Splatfest. So I'm not going to have another chance to stream and be excited before the game comes out on Tuesday. Actually, wait, it does come out on Tuesday, yes. That's the 15th. Today's the 10th. I'm sure it's fine. So thank you for joining me. This was a really good time. I am so glad you all came, and if you'd like to do something like this once the game has come out and we have a little more to theorize on, let me know. I don't know how much we'll do that because there's, a lot of having to stay at the same point and not spoil anything for anybody, but we'll see. So here's wishing you all a great night. I hope you sleep well, sweet dreams, and have a great day tomorrow, and have a great weekend. Bye!